boxing reimagined.
Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Turn up the sun up from under the sun that we maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation, I'm finessing the visit.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Sacramento. We have Gregory Rodriguez going against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And Weezy, we have an Apex type card taking place in an arena this week. I think it's going to be a fun night of fights. We've got a couple mismatches. We got a lot of wide lines as well for this card. We've got some compelling fights, but most importantly, it's party time, baby. Yeah. It's Wes Schultz fight week. Wes, party time, Schultz, stand up. There's going to be a party in Sacramento on Saturday, and I can't wait for it.
It's a good card, actually. I don't mind it just because we're getting some compelling fights like Hernandez, Rodriguez, Spivac, Petrino, DeRitter versus Delidze, Mederos versus Jones is a fun fight. And then you got like Nzechukwu versus Gaziev in the heavyweight division. You got Padilla versus Haqparast in the lightweight division. Those are all really good fights. But then besides that, Brady, we got some compelling prospects on the card. Carli Judice is a compelling prospect. This guy, Anthony Wint, is a very compelling prospect, making an 11-day turnaround here to fight Terrance Chatman. Lerryan Douglas, very compelling prospect. What's his name? Marcio Barbosa, very compelling prospect. So I think they did a good job of making some good, fair fights between solid fighters, well matched, and then having some, prospects with some upside here, some finish upside especially. So it's an interesting card, man. I mean, it's definitely not a pay-per-view, level card in terms of name value, but should be some early finishes, should be some compelling matchups, should be a fun one to watch.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. As always, we got a 5 o'clock Eastern time start time in Sacramento. We got 13 fights to break down. Before we get into it and break it all down, if you guys could do us a favor, smash the like button for us. Last night on the Fight Companion, Weezy, we ended up with over 1,100 likes on the Fight Companion, which obliterated the previous record, which maybe it was like 700, 600, 700. It was just absolutely crazy last night.
I couldn't believe how many people were there. And at some point we were talking about international viewers, and people were saying where they were from. And it was like, oh my God, the whole world is watching. When Oralbai was fighting, man, we had like the entirety of Kyrgyzstan in there just rooting him on. I mean, it was crazy, dude. What a fun time we had yesterday. Interesting fights. Like the co-main and the main weren't exactly like the best fights in the world, but we had some fun, and we had a ton of people supporting, watching the Fight Companion. So that was great, man. I really enjoyed it.
It's been huge, man. We're international now. Like, it's great.
Exactly.
I kind of wish we would have started sooner, but I think we're about 6-7 months in, and it's been the growth is just absolutely insane. We're like one of the biggest Fight Companions in the entire world. We're making it big, so it's pretty cool, and it's all thanks to you guys watching and supporting on Saturdays. So yeah, let's get into the chat. Let's say what's up. If you guys want to vote to see who needs to get help, you can go ahead and vote. The options are Mansour Abdul Malik, who lost as a -700 favorite against Dustin Stoltzfus. Completely blew that. You can vote for my titty back Oral Boy, who went out there and got submitted in the third round, one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. And you can vote for Joe Alvarez, who decided to not show up and fight. And you can vote for Ramiz Brahimaj, who displayed, I don't even know what he displayed. I mean, he had full mount for 4 minutes, didn't really even try to throw any ground and pound or even really try to go for a choke, and gassed out doing nothing. So you can vote for that guy as well. There's a lot of options for who needs to potentially get help. So vote down below. But the first one in the building is the Milkman. Ian Gary needs help for playing touch butt in the park before each round. It's a fight, Ian. I know I hate that, man. It's a fight. Like, for example, Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez is all smiles. What the hell are you smiling about? What are you smiling about? You're in a fight. You're in a fight. Why are you? He was all smiles from the walkout. He was all smiles, up to the cut man. He was, all smiles during the introduction. He was all smiles during the fight. And then this guy lost and he was all smiles. It's like, why are you so happy? Why are you smiling? Why is Ian Gary, giving Islam hugs, before and during the fight? Like, I don't know. That just infuriates me. I get it. Like, show respect after the fight, right? But during the fight, you shouldn't be hugging. You shouldn't be kissing. Is it just me, Wheezy? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Should you be hugging and kissing each other, during the fight?
Dude, that guy across from you is trying to take half your fucking paycheck.
Yeah.
If somebody's trying to take half your money every month, Brady, you smiling at him?
No, I'm not going to smile at him.
Yeah. Like if the IRS came knocking to your door and asked you politely for a check, would you be like, oh, please come in. Let me make you some lemonade. Can I cook you a steak while we're at it, while you're here robbing me? No, that guy's trying to take half your money. Act like he's trying to take half your money. Get his goddamn number after the fight.
Exactly. Give each other a hug after the fight. But during the fight, let's not hug. Let's not high five. Let's not smile. Come on, man. Come on. We got Meat Rocket in the building. What is up, DFS with the numbers? What is up, Meat Rocket? I hate watching Gary fight. Me as well. But he is a very good fighter, though.
Very good fighter.
Very good fighter. But I do hate watching him fight. Start of the night with the 18-unit loss between Oralby and Mansur. Ended up plus 5 units on decision for main and co-main. Parlay boys are not eating anymore, and we figured it would be the case. I didn't think it'd be last night because numbered cards typically the chalk rolls, but yeah, it was bound to happen one of these weeks where we're gonna get that parlay buster. But last night we didn't just get that parlay buster; we got multiple parlay busters. We got Mansur at minus 700. We got my titty back Oralby, who closed at minus 1,800 on Bet Online. We got Joel Alvarez, who closed at minus 350. So we got 3 different parlay busters last night, not just one. It was crazy. We got Dick's Insider, Brandon Weezy. There's only 2 things I would like to say before we start the show, and it's that Oralby is the biggest bum in UFC history, and closely behind him, sniffing his ass, is Ramiz Brahimaj. Yeah, I'm not too happy with either one of those guys. We got Gabrielle in the building saying, let's go. Marcio Barbosa fight week. Let's go. I'm looking forward to it. Plus 500. Oh, yeah. Stoltz's was plus 500. Big dog. Massive dog. Who else is fired up for Wes Schultz fight week? Me too. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Joel Alvarez needs help. Yeah, just wipe that smile off your face, Joel. Wipe that smile off your face. Dr. Peter in the building. Oi, gents. Happy to be here. It's a great day. Ian played touch butt in the park and blew kisses for 5 rounds. Sunshine. And yeah, he did. And it was a winnable fight for Ian Gary. Like if he could have made, 1 or 2 less mistakes, he could have potentially, snuck out a split decision. There was a very competitive fight for the most part outside of the head kick and the back take in round 5 for Islam. And Dana said himself, if Ian Gary had any killer instinct whatsoever, he could have potentially won the fight, but he didn't at all. No Meconico has an option to get help. He's going to need some voodoo magic to resurrect him. Yeah, that was my favorite part of last night because that was a very confident read. I always attack the chin of Meconico, and he got slept badly. Get some help, Mansur, and get some help, my titty back Oralby. I would tend to agree. Brain Uncle Weezy, yesterday's fights was a wake-up call on dogs compared to the last one. Yeah, it looks like the dogs might be back. I think the run of chalk has came to an end. Chalk was like 34-4 the last several weeks, but lots of dogs last night and big dogs as well. The card was a crap show. Yeah, Stoltz was only 350. There you go. Yeah, I mean, fading Mansur Badon Malik is not a bad thing. Me and Weezy faded him with Belgorowy, but I wasn't expecting Stoltz was to do that. That was crazy. It's a bad that the guy with the second worst blown favorite odds in UFC history is in second place of needing help for last night. Yeah, that is kind of crazy, to be honest. Oh, gosh. Love Dana White's strategy of matching up old guys on decent contracts into the worst possible opponents so they retire and he doesn't have to pay them anymore. Poor Edson Barbosa. Yeah, I said it with the Darren Elkins fight. I said it with the Barbosa fight. Both those guys should not have stepped foot in the cage, but they did, and look what happened. Both guys got unnecessary damage, more unnecessary damage. It's kind of disgusting. Luckily, there's really no matchup like that on this card. But it's some disgusting matchmaking lately. Brady, didn't you see there is a inaugural chapping of the week this week in honor of poor Terrance Chapman? Yeah, it's going to be the first ass chapping of the week with Terrance Chapman. I think Wint's going to go out there and chap his ass in the very first. It's probably 60 seconds.
It's not going to be pretty, man. I mean, I was joking around with Brady in the DMs about, like, oh, this Wint guy looks like a bum to me, like he's so terrifying. Like, you just see a picture of the guy and you're like, oh God, no.
Oh,
who's
God.
signing contract? Like, you got to wonder, for me, Brady, what number was Terrance Chapman's name on the list of people that they called to try to get a fight against that dude Wint? He might have been number 9 or 10 on the list. People might be saying, like, why the hell are they signing Terrance Chapman? This guy lost to Myron Dennis. But, you might have gotten a lot of busy signals and a lot of, oh, my back hurts. I can't take a fight, So, I mean, this is going to be a tough road to hoe for one Terrance Chapman on Saturday.
Yeah, I think his ass is going to get chapped, man. We got Kurt saying, Big Wheezy with the +6 unit night. Stand up for real. Rats, brother, you deserve it after the stretch. They've been screwing you on. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal night. Wheezy avoided a lot of the traps that I stepped in. But, yeah, great night. They robbed me of a bonus. Did you not get a bonus? You killed McConico. You destroyed him.
How did he not get a bonus? Seriously,
what
that's
more than
crazy.
He iced McConico. It was the most brutal knockout of the night.
Yeah, that was crazy. You were crying for a minute that McConico might be dead, but then they sat him back up on the stool and you regained your composure. But yeah, dude, Dante took that man's soul, man. I'm surprised he didn't get a knockout. At least he got the finish bonus though.
Yes, 25K.
That's huge. That's going to help him out, but he could have used the bonus there. That was an impressive KO.
I feel like fighters still haven't got the notice that you do get a 25K bonus for finishing fights. Trayshawn Gore, like, why are we taking the corpse of Vicente Luque 15 minutes? So yeah, I think fighters. I truly think half the fighters don't know that you do get a bonus. Wheezy, maybe they should look over the contract again.
Man, they know that too. And I just don't know what the hell. And that was another one, dude. Did you see Gore and Luque hugging like it was like a dog that had lost his owner for the last 3 years?
It was a long hug. It was like a 5-second hug.
Dude, no, it was more than a 5-second hug. Dude, that was like a 30-second hug. And Joe Rogan is there like lightly touching Gore saying like, come on, man, we got to do an interview here. Like, that was crazy, man. Those dudes was like, come on, man. You can get each other's numbers after the goddamn fight. Let's get the interview done with here.
I know. Apparently, Luque had staff. Yeah, I got staff watching that fight, man. Come on. Yeah, the parlay boy. I mean, Vegas was popping bottles, buying hookers last night.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, the amount of parlays that had to have been busted. We're talking a lot of parlays that got. I mean, if you had a parlay last night, there's a good chance you had either, my titty back, Mansur, or Alvarez. So, yeah, the parlay boys. It was bound to happen. You can't just keep winning parlays every week, but it was happening for a couple weeks. Parlay boys were eating, but last night, a couple parlay busters. It was crazy. What's good, Brady? What is up? Yep, NFL starting pretty soon. I've seen enough who has a better smile, Joel Alvarez or Susarkayev?
It's Susarkayev, man.
I think
that guy's just genuinely happy to be in the cage. Whether he's getting hit or hitting somebody, that dude is smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling way too much. Let's go. My favorite show of the week, Stat Diggers. Let's go. What is up? Vegas 8 last night. Yeah. Let's go, Brady. Don't usually catch the Stat Diggers live. Regards from the UK. What is up? Good to see you in here, Sims. We got the MMA Hustler saying Brady and Wheezy are never late, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to. That's I like that line. I like it. Mansur's got to switch gyms or for sure and get some help. I would tend to agree. I mean, but I don't know if all the help in the world can help Mansur at this point. I mean, if you lose to Dustin Stoltzfus, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, I guess they could try to give him Gerald Mearshart or something. But he might even screw that up. I think Mansur might be time to cut him, let him go back on the regional scene, beat up a couple bums, and then bring him back when he's ready because it's kind of disgusting. Parlay boys got cooked. Shamil the blah. Shamil fight week. Stand up.
Yes.
Stand up. We got Nicholson here. Douglas by jab KO. Emmers is not that chinny that he's gonna get knocked out by a jab. I'm going to go ahead and take credit for the 500 like. Yeah, Dixon, you were helping a ton. Dixon was hyping up the chat, telling everybody we do appreciate you, Dixon. And we do appreciate the mods last night. The mods were working overtime, Wheezy, last night. We had a lot of spammers. We had a lot of sex bots. We had a lot of different languages. We had everything last night. It was crazy.
We had people bitching us out for not showing the fights. We had people bitching us out going, when is Islam going to fight? 6 hours before Islam was going to fight.
I know. They said they were asking that during my titty back fight. They were like, when is Islam fighting? Let's go, boys. Cash a plus 900 parlay. Islam decision and Gary most significant strikes. That's crazy that it was plus 900. That's a very sharp play. Very sharp play. Somehow pulled a 4 unit night out of my ass. There you go.
Good.
Enjoy it. So many of these need to be investigated. Oralby, Alvarez, Malik, also Dalgarian been arrested yet? I don't think he's been arrested yet. We haven't heard anything about the Dalgarian situation.
Nothing yet.
Did Joel attempt one takedown? No, he did not. The Islam decision saved my night, but Malik cost me a lot of money I had on the job and the spread. F Malik, garbage puss. Yeah. Congrats on the big numbers you guys did on the stream yesterday. I couldn't freaking believe it. Like we were approaching I think we're like 460,000 views, which is it's unheard of. Horrible card. Wild Dog wins. Yep. Wild Dog wins, man. Joe Alvarez, the most embarrassing performance of the card. Yeah, it was bad. I voted for Alvarez, man. At least the other guys tried. Yeah, at least Mansur tried, guys. At least Mansur put forth an effort. Who else was up there? Did Brahimaj try? Not really. He kind of just laid on Magny. That was embarrassing. My tittyback tried. So, yeah.
He just got caught, dude. He got caught.
Yeah, he got caught.
Yeah.
How does Caio Fernandez not need help? I've seen Winos,
like a drunk.
Oh, yeah. Well, drunks are tough.
They are tough. Dude, yeah, I saw once in when I used to live in Uptown in Chicago, right? Lawrence and Lakeshore Drive. There was a JJ Peppers on the corner, and these two bums got into a fight, Brady. And I'm telling you, one bum lands a big left hook on the other bum. The other bum goes down like a sack of potatoes, cracks his head on the pavement, and the other guy starts walking away in celebration. Dude, this guy gets back up like he's the Undertaker and then comes up and like sucker punches the guy from behind. And then they're fighting again. And I'm like,
yikes.
I was going to a concert at the time and I'm like, guys, wait, this is entertaining, and it's not going to last that much longer. And dude, yeah, drunks can take a shot. They don't necessarily realize that they're hurt when they're hurt. So they'll keep fighting. So yeah, man, like winos can be scrappy sometimes.
Yeah, no, they are for sure. They're it's hard to get out of there, and I totally agree. Yeah, Dante's in here. Shout out to Dante Johnson. Dante Johnson was the one bright spot of my night. He kind of saved my night from being a very, very bad night. So thank you, Dante, for knocking out the very chinny Meconico, and thank you, Meconico, for being very, very chinny. We appreciate that. We have the chapping of the week. Let's go. How about the Dean Thomas comments after the Robertson Dern fight? I did not see the I heard he's retiring from cornering fighters. What were the comments? Did you see anything, Weezy?
So yeah, so he's on the desk, and it's after all the fights are over, and they're just doing like their desk commentary on the fights. And Dean Thomas announces his retirement from coaching, and a lot of people are saying that Dean kind of threw Jillian under the bus there. And in my opinion, he could have waited, to make those comments and to retire, because that was Jillian's night. And Jillian had some success, man. Like that third round was close. The fifth round, she won pretty convincingly. Not an easy fight for her, but Dean Thomas is a legend. I just wish he would have went about that in a little bit different of a way. I think a lot, he kind of made it about him, and that was Jillian's night. It's not your night, Dean. So I don't know why he did that, and just said I wanted to take Jillian all the way, and now I think I've taken her as far as I can take her, is what he said. And it kind of felt like he was shitting on her performance a little bit, and that I don't know. I didn't like it particularly.
God. Yeah, it's not cool. Lerryan, Marcio, Barbosa, first round K. You can probably throw Wint in there too, but they're going to be so juiced. We got Detroit saying congrats on the 1K likes last night, boys. Might be time to subscribers mode only through the number cards. Request for links for that was crazy. We had spammers. Where's the links? When's the fight? I mean, it's absolutely nuts last night. I tried to be smart and parlay. The fight doesn't go to decision. The Alvarez fight, of course, he sparred for 15 minutes. I wouldn't even call that a sparring match. It was because one guy sparred and cheated. The other guy just kind of stood there. Abdul Yakia versus Krylov. Okay, I can't believe that. More predatory matchmaking right there.
Yeah.
Robertson will never fight for the title again. Maybe. I mean, isn't she only like 29 or 30?
She's not old. She's definitely not old. I don't have the number in front of me, but yeah, she could get back there.
She can get back there, even though I think Zhang Weili would wreck her. I think Fatima Klein would destroy her. It's gonna be tough, but she could. When is Islam fighting? I don't know, man. Yeah, it looks like we topped out at 2K on 2.1K on YouTube was the highest, and then we had like another 5,000 or 6,000 on Twitter. It was crazy. Man. We have Dravi in the building. What is up, Dravi? Yo, excited for the Stanley Gage breakdown. Yeah, it should be a fun fight, man. Should be a fun fight. Can never knock out a crackhead. Yeah, crackheads are very tough. Dante got it done this time. Thank goodness. Shout out Dante Johnson, man. Marcio Barbosa is the lock of a card. Yeah, he's minus 1,000, minus 1,000. Barbosa first round KO. Brady, can we please from now on call him Joel Haqparast? I mean, no, because if you wouldn't say something to his face, don't say it online. And I wouldn't say that to Joel Alvarez's face, Yeah. So it was a bad performance. Missed by 1 on a plus 3,300 parlay because of Malik. Yeah, I gave out a Lambo on our Narco show, and the one leg that missed was Mansur KO. It was disgusting. Everything else hit. Peen Thomas. Oh, God. UFC 333 is stacked. Yes, it is. It is. We all know you guys are going to hate on Malik, but it's actually Joel Alvarez. Why not hate on them both a little bit? Wendy's Unk and Brady. What a Sunday. Let's go. Poor Krylov. Yeah, poor Krylov. Who's Dominic Reyes fighting? Is it isn't it Mirzakhanov?
Mirzakhanov, I think. That's gonna
yeah, I think they're punishing Reyes for not fighting against Johnny Walker last fight.
Yeah.
Pulling a Joel Alvarez. We got Kurt with the 1999. Appreciate you, Kurt. Saying cash a 3-leg plus 997. Heck yeah. Turner, Dern decision, Makhachev decision. Thanks for the work, you guys. Let's get it again in Sacramento. Let's get it. Yes. Appreciate you, Kurt. Great parlay nice there. About plus 1,000. Heck yeah. I did, Dante. I did. I'm sorry, Dante. We're cool now. We're cool. We're cool after you cash that KO prop for me. So, all right, let's do a quick recap of UFC 330. Weezy, I'll kick it to you. You absolutely smashed last night with your money line bets. Take it away.
Yeah, I was real happy with my bet selection. And that's, I think, really been one of my biggest problems is I'll get a lot of fights right, but, I'll go like 10-3 on picks, but then I'll have money line bets on 2 of the 3 fights that I got wrong. And this was one where I had 2 units on Terrance Gore. He cashed it at minus 115. I had 2 units on Jalen Turner at minus 140. That cashed easily. 2 units on Mackenzie Dern at minus 205. That cashed. The Lucas Fernando by KO bet was a great bet. 1 unit at plus 133. Probability parlay had Ribovics inside the distance and Islam to win in over 1.5 rounds. That cashed for 1.31 units. And then I had a great read on the Nzechukwu versus Alvarez fight because Alvarez doesn't wrestle. And if that fight stayed on the feet, you had a former middleweight fighting a former lightweight. And Chidi had the better long-range weapons and throws more volume. So I felt like it was going to be a close fight. I didn't have the sack to go Chidi money line straight, but I played Chidi plus 3.5 points. It was plus 160 because people were giving Alvarez so much finish upside. So I kind of figured it like that it would go to decision, but I thought it would be really close. And I wanted to take that plus 3.5 unless in case Chidi lost like a close striking based decision, which is how that fight played out. So that was a 1 unit bet at plus 160. The losing bets were Terrance Gore inside the distance at plus 185, which was a great bet. I mean, he was so close. But we talked about that fight, Brady, and we both agreed That fight was about durability and heart. And Terrance got his bottom teeth knocked out and kept going, and frankly, Luque, who I thought was going to look for the door the first chance he had, did not look for the door at all and fought through a lot of adversity, even though he was getting his ass kicked in rounds 1 and 2. So losing that bet, I mean, that was a 2.85 unit swing. I would have been up over 9 units if that hit. And the other losing bet was Ramiz Brahimaj to win in rounds 1 or 2. So he didn't get the job done, but he was dominant in round 1. He was dominant in the first half of round 2. He just couldn't find the finish. And I think that was a good bet too, because I knew if he didn't get that finish in rounds 1 or 2, that's when you go into the Magniverse, and you don't get out of the Magniverse. You're stuck there. Like people saw all those kids from Stranger Things going into the upside down and then come out the other side and be all right, man. That's not real life. That's TV. You go into the upside down with Neil Magny, you're not coming out. It's not how it works, dude. Like that guy can bend reality. It's bizarre to watch this guy pull wins out of fights that he's losing over and over and over again, but he's become just incredibly good at it, and he keeps doing it over and over again. So yeah, I finished up 6.38 units on 11 units in bets. So I was really happy, even with the losing bets I thought were good bets at plus money. They just didn't cash. But yeah, that was a good one. Got to keep it going this week for Sacramento.
Nice, man. So I had my worst losing week in the last 15 weeks. In the last 15, it was only a 2-unit loss. So it's been a phenomenal last 4 months, but it came to an end. And it was in an alternate universe I smashed last night. So I lost 3 units between the Gore Luque fight and the Ramiz Magny fight. And that's insane because my reads were perfect on both fights. My read in the Magny Ramiz fight was Ramiz early or Brahimaj late. And what did I do? I bet Ramiz round 1, round 2. And then I bet Magny round 3. And yep. I thought Ramiz should have at least enough durability to last till the 3rd round. So I kind of screwed myself there, not betting the Magny round 2 as well at plus 1,200, which was a big mistake because I can't tell you how many times where I've sprinkled the round 3 and then it happens in round 2. So made a mental error there, but I can't believe how quickly Ramiz quit instantly. He got reversed and just quit. I couldn't believe that quit job. So that sucked because the read was perfect. I also talked all week about live betting Magny after the first round, and I had my head in my ass and didn't do it. And Magny was plus 300 starting round 2. So yeah, I really crapped the bed on that fight. And then the Gore Luque fight, I read that fight like a book. My prediction was Tresean Gore to win by 2nd round submission. I bet the fight ends by sub, which I don't know in what world that didn't hit. Vicente Luque had a fully locked in Darce choke, which nobody ever gets out of. And then Tresean Gore had a rear naked choke attempt and then a fully locked in arm triangle choke. Yeah. And I thought for sure the fight was over. Luque looked like he was quitting. He was done. Yeah. Gore had the choke fully locked in. And then all of a sudden it gets let go. And I was just blown away because would have cashed the fight ends by sub and Gore inside the distance. And that was a 5-unit swing. So that was brutal. But thankfully, Dante Johnson got me back on track. Had the KO 1-2 at plus 190 for 1.25 units. Thank you, Dante, for that. Just attacking the chin of Meconico. Can't say I was feeling good about it, Weezy, because you called it out first. Dante Johnson, after 60 seconds, was exhausted. Absolutely exhausted after 60 seconds. So if Meconico could have hung in there for another minute or so, I don't think that bet was going to hit. But thankfully, Johnson landed a bomb and knocked out Meconico. My worst bet of the night was Joel Alvarez inside the distance. And I'm disappointed in myself for this one because when I researched the fight last week, I wrote down it's a trap. The violence props are going to be juiced. The under is going to be juiced. Alvarez inside the distance is going to be juiced. It's probably going to decision. Stay away at the trap. And then they open up Alvarez inside the distance at minus 125. And it's you're getting a guy with a 100% finish rate outside of the Luque fight, which should have been finished 50 different times. And then a guy in Chidi who's been finished 9 times. And you're saying Alvarez is a minus 350 favorite. Why is Alvarez ITD only minus 125? So I fell into the trap there. I felt awful about the bet all week. Wanted to cash it out. I didn't cash it out. and it played out, even worse than I expected. Alvarez went out there to just collect a paycheck. My biggest bet of the night was Ribovics to win by knockout at -143 for 3 units. Probably should have been a max bet there, and the fight played out exactly how you expected. Probably should have been stopped after the first round. Edson really didn't need to take another couple of years off his life, but his corner and Herb let him, and Ribovics got him out of there in the second. And then my last bet of the night was Mansour to win by KO in rounds 1 or rounds 2. And this was another fight that I wasn't going to touch. And then I saw the KO prop at +100. I'm like, why is the KO prop at +100? This guy's a -700 favorite. Stoltz is getting dropped by Gastelum. He's taking so much damage. He's getting dropped and hurt in all these fights. Why is the KO prop at +120? So I fell into another trap there. So I fell into multiple traps last night. The Gore-Luque fight. In an alternate universe, Gore sinks in that choke, and I'm up 3 or 4 units. So down 2 units. Very frustrating, but it's time to get it all back. And it starts with the Jackson McVey, Wesley Schultz fight. Going to have a lot of action on that fight, Weezy. I'm looking forward to Jackson McVey, Wesley Schultz this week. It's the people's main event. I'm shocked that I saw they took it from the main card and they put it on the prelims. And I just don't get that. I just don't get that at all.
I mean, who knows, dude? Like these... there's some really good fights on this card, and as the matchmakers, they have to kind of like, a lot of times it's going to be a heavyweight fight on the main card, even if it's one of the worst fights. It's just the formula that they use to kind of figure out how they're going to organize the fights on the card. So I don't know. We'll see how this one goes. It's going to be Hernandez fight week. I always love fluffy fights, but after that last fight, I'm worried about him, Brady. So let's break it down, man. Let's figure out what's going on here after we talk about the milking and the piping, and then we got to open some cards too, man.
We got a lot of stuff still to do. You know how it is. We got a lot of stuff to cover. And the milk of the week. You guys crapped the bed here, man. This was your guys' fault, man. You guys voted for this guy, man. My titty back, Oral Boy, and I'm gonna call him my titty back. I know people were crying last week saying, "Don't call him my titty back. That's not his real name. Have some respect." Fuck him. I'm not respecting him. He's my titty back from here on out, and nobody will say anything about it. He's my titty back. No respect. If you lose as a -1800 favorite, you get no respect. He is my titty back, Oral Boy. And you guys voted for this guy to milk Jeremiah Wells, -1800 closing line, -3300 live, and he goes out there and gets caught in a choke. Shout out to Jeremiah Wells, biggest dog, I think it was the second biggest dog in UFC history, coming through as a massive dog in his hometown. Jeremiah Wells, stand up, my titty back, Oral Boy, stand down, stand down.
Dude, I want you to know that I was watching the MMA Husky Hustlers full card breakdown for the last card, and he does great videos. The cabbage one that he did, but he does music before everyone, and he does all these cuts, and the editing is phenomenal. And he finished the breakdown by calling him my titty back, Oral Boy. And it was just like, yes, it's catching on.
Gosh, yeah, he's my titty back, man. And until he can go out there and redeem himself, I'm not calling him Mitta back. You got to earn Mitta back. You got to earn. That's something that's earned, not given. So my titty back, Oral Boy, potentially needs to get some help. We'll talk about that in a second. The piping of the week, you guys nailed it. Esteban Ribovics to pipe, poor. Edson Barbosa on site. Went out there and it played out exactly how we expected. Edson looked drunk in there. He was wobbling across the cage. His shin that got cut open, like one of the nastiest shin cuts you'd ever seen.
The end of the first, dude. That was nasty.
Got hurt really bad at the end of the first. The corner probably should have stopped the fight. They didn't. They let him go back out there and take some more unnecessary damage. I feel bad for Edson, man. I think the UFC truly did him so dirty. Edson, brought his kids to watch the fight. He was bawling his eyes out on the walkout. I've never seen so much emotion on the walkout. Was bawling his eyes out after the fight. You can tell that Edson Barbosa is such a phenomenal guy, and for the UFC to do that to him, just completely did him dirty. I mean, it was probably one of the most brutal matchups you could have given Edson because Ribovics is 10 years younger, and the durability difference between the two is just night and day. It's like Edson did not have a shot. So disgusting matchmaking there. And poor Edson Barbosa. I couldn't believe what the UFC did to him. We got to put an end to this. I almost went out to Philly the other week and with a clipboard and a pen trying to get the fight off the card. I'm glad I didn't because I cashed a big bet. But
yeah,
God, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We can be responsible people, Brady, and say that this fight shouldn't be happening, and also be responsible gamblers and betting on the obvious outcome when they make an obviously bad matchup. So we had to do both. We had to advocate for the health of Edson Barbosa, but we also had to advocate for the health of our betting accounts and play Ribovics to win inside the distance. So this is what we do. We're gonna advocate for veterans like Edson who have given so much of their health and their heart to the octagon and helped build this sport. Giving him Esteban Ribovics in his last fight is basically a middle finger. We talked about it on the walkout that is like the last guy on the roster that they should have been feeding him to.
Just sickening, dude. Sickening. But yeah, I'm glad the fight took place because I needed that. That was my biggest bet of the night. So and then I also cashed on Yadir Delvice. You got to take advantage of it. But at the same time, like you said, we gotta speak up a little bit and say how wrong it is and stuff.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see who needs to get help. And the results are in. In fourth place, Ramiz Brahimaj at 4%. I don't know about that, guys. I mean, Ramiz got Magny down. I think Ramiz thought that you're not allowed to throw ground and pound or elbows because he didn't land any at all. Kind of was content to just lay on Magny and just really gassed out bad. Only 4% for Ramiz. Okay. I'm surprised by this. Only 22% for Joel All Smiles Alvarez. He was all smiles from the walkout to the end of the bell. Very happy after the decision was read. Only 22% from Joel. That's surprising. That's how you know it's bad. If Joel Alvarez is only 22%, 28%, my titty back Oral Boy, a guy that blew it as a minus 1,800 favorite, minus 3,000 or more on the live line. He is a 28%, and then first place, Mansour Abdulmalik, 46%, who got a layup from the UFC. The UFC did him a big favor, give him a main card slot against Dustin Stoltzfus. And they said, make this layup. You're wide open. You go down the lane and make the layup. And he airballed it. He airballed the layup, and he got broken by Dustin Stoltzfus. So, yeah, Mansour Abdulmalik, get some help. All these guys, get some help. Get some help.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of places to get help, but it's on you to find the help. We can only suggest that you get it. Nobody can make you do it but yourself. And it's a wake-up call right now. It's a wake-up call. It's time to get some help.
Get some help, man.
Yeah.
And now let's get into our sponsor. The first sponsor is going to be Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog Fantasy and use code DFSBTN, you'll get $50 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. It's August 16th. We have one sign-up. One sign-up.
Yikes. How many live viewers did we have yesterday for the Fight Companion while we were giving this out?
We had 8,000, but the problem is probably half of them were
international.
And Underdog's only available, so they have a pass, right? So
yeah.
If you guys please sign up if you can. It does help us out quite a bit. One sign up halfway through the month. They might fire us. They might drop us. They might look at those numbers and say that's pathetic, boys.
Yeah.
We're out. All right.
Help us.
Yes, and we're also always looking for new sponsors as well, of course, and you can never have too much sponsors. We're looking for somebody to sponsor the Fight Companion as well. So if you know somebody, if you want to sponsor it, hit us up. All right. Yeah, they were all asking for the stream. They were, man. All right. So let's get into the other sponsor, which is going to be homeoffightcards.com. And we're going to pull some cards. I feel like the last couple of weeks, not 2 weeks ago, but last week and 3 weeks ago, we've been hitting some good stuff. So,
yeah,
we're going to pull this up here and we're going to see if we can get something big. I'm feeling pretty good about this week, Weezy.
I am too, man. And we've hit a John Jones, man. We hit a Robert Whitaker autograph. We've got a Darren Till card that was worth like $90. So yeah, man, I'm fired up for this one, man. I enjoy this part of the show. opening up these packs. It's just so exciting. It reminds me when I was a kid and I'd go across the street from my dad's restaurant to the little discount store to buy packs of Topps baseball cards. I remember in 1980 getting a Rickey Henderson rookie, and I still have that card to this day. So yeah, let's open them up, man. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. You ready to open up the Home of Fight exclusive MMA pack?
Let's go.
Yes, I am. I'm ready to open it up, and I'm ready for something big. We need an autograph. Need something, baby. Come on, right now.
Come on.
Come on. Come on.
Ripping
come on.
It open.
Come on. Come on.
Autograph.
Come on. Oh!
Vinicius Oliveira, man. I like it, dude. That's
rookie
a good
card.
That's a good up-and-coming, exciting fighter. Oh yeah, 2025 Sapphire selections.
That's sick, dude.
That's a great hit, man. I like it.
PSA 10. You gotta love that. That's a good. I'd say that's a pretty dang good hit. I'm surprised it's only worth $75, and I think that might go up too, because I think Oliveira has some freaking upside. That guy's a dog, dude. Remember the Feely fight when he got hurt to the body and to the legs and fought through it and got the second round knockout?
Dude, he damn near broke his leg against Ricky Simon in round 2. Where Ricky checked a leg kick, and he was on one leg, and he went out there and won round 3 against Ricky dominantly. I love Vinicius Oliveira, man. He's an exciting fighter.
Dude, the dog, yeah, the aura. Yeah, let's not pull a Jekka Serghei. Let's not pull a
dear God.
Let's not do something like that.
Let's not, man. That was a good start, man. Let's build on it here.
Let's do it. We got Seattle Ryan. Appreciate you, Ryan, for subscribing. We go live every Sunday at 7:15 Eastern time. We've also been doing the fight companion as well. No, I don't want that guy's card. I don't want my Teddy Back's card. Sacramento card is so good. It looks good, man. Pull a Fluffy. I think that'd be cool. We're about to find out.
That would be cool, man. Let's get a Fluffy card. Let's get a Conor McGregor or Carlos Prates smoking with cigarettes. That's what I really want.
Here we go. Come on, baby. Can we go 2 for 2 tonight? 2 for 2 tonight.
Francis Ngannou, but it's not worth a lot.
It's not.
2017 Chrome. Ngannou.
Not good. Not good. Well, we had one good pull, one bad one. You can't win them all.
Great. I mean, a great fighter, but, all cards worth aren't equal. Just because you got a good fighter doesn't mean it's going to be a valuable card.
Yep. So the Oliveira card, very happy with that. The Ngannou card, not as happy. So, not as great. Not as great as the Oliveira card, but the Oliveira card was very good. All right, and it is Home of Fight cards, J-Bone. Home of Fight cards.
Home of Fight cards. Check it out. You can go over there. They got the $60 option, and they get the elite cards with the $150 option. And it's fun pulling those things, man. And you're gonna make some money on some of those because you get those big hits. It's fun.
Maybe one day we'll pull a 150 card, maybe for a numbered card.
Ooh, that would be cool, man. Maybe we'll get one of those for the fight companion. We should be opening. We should be doing like a pack rip before the main event of every fight companion when we've got thousands of people in there.
I know. I agree. I totally agree. You need a Fialo card.
That would be sweet, man. I want the 1 of 1 though. I want the 1 of 1 Fialo card. That would be awesome.
Like a slot, yeah. It's all a gamble, you're gonna get some good cards. We've got some really good cards,
yeah.
But you also get your bad cards, It all kind of even it's out, and then maybe one day you hit that big one, that $1,000 card, That's what we're aiming for, that big one. All right, Wheezy, enough dicking around. It's time to get into UFC Sacramento. We have 13 fights to talk about. Smash the like button for us. Let's get those likes up. Let's try to get at least 100 likes by the time we're out of here. All right. And the first fight we're going to talk about is going to be a sanctioned murder. You want to talk about the sanctioned murder first, Wheezy?
Yeah, the Ryan Kuse fight. Let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about the sanctioned murder here. We got Marcio Barbosa going against Ryan Kuse. We got Barbosa, 28 years old, 5'6" with a 70-inch reach. Ryan Kuse, 32 years old, 5'9" with a 74-inch reach. We got Barbosa 4 years younger. Ryan Kuse with a 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. We got Barbosa 5-0 in his last 5 fights, all by knockout. I believe all by knockout in round 1. As far as Ryan Kuse, he has 4-1 in his last 5 fights. he is going to be making his debut. Barbosa had his debut against Bazookia, won that fight by first round knockout, brutal knockout, by the way, and then knocked out poor Damon Wilson 5 different times on the Contender Series. So Marcio Barbosa, and it's kind of cool. We have 2 of the hardest hitting featherweights on the roster, and Marcio Barbosa is one of them. This guy has absolute dynamite in his hands, and we kind of talk about it a lot, Weezy. The featherweight division, we don't get a ton of finishes, and we see a lot of these featherweight fights go to decision. And not only is Barbosa finishing the fight, he's finishing in the very first round. I think all but one of his wins come in round number 1. This guy can knock down a house with his fist. This guy has so much power, has a sneaky guillotine, and in the first round, he's going to be a problem for many fighters in the UFC, especially against Ryan Kuse here, who just has nothing for him in the striking. Ryan Kuse is looking to go out there. He's looking to hump your leg. He's looking to take you down. And you got to imagine Kuse is going to look to wrestle very, very early often in this fight. But when this fight's at distance striking, it's night and day. And quite frankly, it's very, very bad. I mean, Barbosa is the much better striker, and he has a ton of power, and he's going to make Ryan Kuse pay. So, yeah, should be Barbosa KO1, but, the bookies are onto it, Weezy. We got Barbosa around minus 1,000. The KO prop, we're looking maybe at minus 200, minus 250. Barbosa round 1, we're looking at maybe minus 200. So it's one of those, man. It's one of those where they're onto it. The props are going to suck. The under's going to be juiced. And it should be a Barbosa round 1 finish. He has just so many of them. So, yeah, what are your thoughts of this predatory matchmaking?
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing Kuse in, and he's got 2 career losses. One of them's to Cameron Smotherman. The other one is back in Combate to Leandro Morales, who's a veteran with a lot of fights. But then there's a lot of first-round knockout wins for this guy. But then you look at the records of the guys that he's beating, and you're like, okay, there's not much here that we need to be excited about. But so Kuse is going to have to try to get the fight to the ground, obviously, because Marcio Barbosa, this is pretty crazy number here on my over-under model. This guy's had 18 fights that have been scheduled for 3 rounds as a professional. 17 of those 18 fights have ended under 1.5 rounds. And 16 of them have ended in round 1. So, I mean, you have to be aware, if you're going to be betting on Marcio Barbosa, that this guy doesn't have a lot of win equity after round 1, and that Kuse is going to be somebody that's going to be looking to wrestle. So, I mean, theoretically, there's a path, but when you got thunder in your hands like Barbosa does, it's going to be very difficult. You kind of have to pitch that perfect game with your grappling in order to not absorb something that's going to change the fight, that's going to bank the round, because this is the kind of fight where Kuse might be on top for 4.5 minutes. Barbosa gets up, lands one big shot. It might be the fight. It might be the round. You just can't fade power like that, dude. It's even if you win, sometimes it takes years off your life if you bet an over or you fade somebody like Marcio Barbosa. And he's even won by submission before. And the crazy thing is that the one fight of his as a professional that has went to decision, he won it.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's a good prospect, man. He's only 28 years old. He's got 20 professional fights. He's been fighting for 10 years. So this guy turned pro at the age of 17. He's a very, very good prospect. And Kuse is going to have to wrestle his ass off in order to not let this guy take his head off early in this fight.
Yep. Yeah, man, this is bad. This is very, very bad stuff. We got Barbosa only minus 900. Okay, so he was minus 1,000. He's minus 900 now. Ryan Kuse is currently plus 113, and we do have a total. Okay, listen to this, Wheezy.
Okay. Well, they just opened all those totals. Yeah,
it's so bad, Wheezy. Remember, keep in mind, it's a featherweight fight.
Yeah,
your model's gonna hate it. The under 1.5 rounds is minus 280.
Under 1.5 rounds is minus
280.
And the over is what, like 240?
230.
230. Okay.
Brutal.
Oh my God, dude. That's 43% more expensive than the divisional average for featherweight fights going under 1.5 rounds, which is only 30%. This bet's being priced at almost 74%. So that's a very strong market read for violence, Brady.
Yeah.
And it probably has to do with Barbosa finishing 17 of 18 fights, whether he wins or loses in under 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd rather play the under at minus 280 than Barbosa money line at minus 900. When you think of it that way, I guess it is what it is. But geez, laying minus 280 on an under, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It sure is.
Yeah, it certainly is. Barbosa KO of the year for me. I agree. It's just what's the price going to be? Like, I felt dirty laying minus 143 on Ribovic's KO. I just feel dirty laying chalk on the method props, but yeah, should be. He does have a good guillotine, and Kuse is going to wrestle, so I don't know. It could be a potential sub. It could be a club and sub. So, and the KO is going to be like minus 200 or 300.
Yeah, it's going to be so expensive.
It's going to be juice to the tits. Barbosa KO, even if it's minus 500, will be great value. It might look great value. This guy hits like a truck, dude. Yeah, the bout order did flip around recently, and they might even change it again. But we'll go on this order for now. I wonder if Barbosa is Terrance McKinney and will quit if the fight goes around 2. Round 1, you got to hug the guy or you're dead. And Kuse is going to try to hug him, man. Barbosa doesn't look 5'6". No, he's not. I think he's lying. Some people lie about their heights, and this is a guy that's definitely lying about his height. Barbosa is not 5'6". I mean, that doesn't seem right to me. So
he is listed as that on UFC stats. So maybe he might have bent his knees when they were doing the height member. Like some of these guys do that. Even Phil Rose said that he angles his arms down when they measure his reach so that people don't understand how long his reach is. And I'm like, boy, is that fucking stupid. Maybe try swinging. Maybe actually try to hit your opponent and stop worrying about tricking people before the fight goes with your fucking reach measurement.
Yeah, I think he's tricking people, man. I mean, I don't think he's 5'6". I don't think he's 5'6". Maybe like 5'7", 5'8" would make more sense. But yeah, that's what he is listed as. Those are Terrance McKinney numbers. Yeah, they're acting like it's McKinney out here. And this guy basically is McKinney. I mean, this guy has how many wins? 18 wins, 17 in round 1. Like even McKinney has like a couple. McKinney's like a 3rd round win back in the day. So
yeah, he does. Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy. Those birds at one of your places sound so nice. I don't have birds here. Do you?
No, they might be hearing the squeak from my chair. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh. I'm never touching anything minus 400 or ever. Why would you? Yeah, it's tough to do that. It's tough. Barbosa 1st round KO. Yep, I agree. Phil Rose, an idiot. Why? Why is he? He doesn't have a chin. I don't know. Is he an idiot? I don't know. Oh gosh, I'll never forget that Phil Rowe Duran win fight. Oh god, I was there live. It was a great performance. Rowe tricks people into thinking he can win fights. Oh god, we got to get Phil Rowe back in there. All right. Oh god.
Oh boy.
God help us. We have Anthony Wint going against Terrance Chatman. Oh god. We got Anthony Wint, 30 years old, 5'11" with a 78-inch reach. We got Terrance Chatman, 29 years old, 6'2". We got Chatman 1 year younger, 3-inch height advantage. Chatman 4-1 in his last 5 fights. I think he made a mistake here, Weezy. But that he lost to Myron Dennis. Yeah,
as a minus 600 favorite.
Yeah, but you put that he actually lost to Myron Dennis. I think.
Yeah, it as it turns out that's. I mean, I can only do what they say on the sheets, and evidently that was ruled as a loss for Terrance Chatman. I haven't seen the fight though, so I can't. But that's what it says. It says that on Tapology and it says that on SureDog.
No. That can't be. Nobody loses to Myron Dennis.
Well, I know. I mean, like everybody beats Myron Dennis, but evidently Terrance Chatman is not one of those people.
Oh God!
Because like Myron Dennis has like double-digit losses, I think, in his career.
Yeah.
Right, and it turns out that Terrance Chatman is not one of those losses.
God, that's not a great sign. That's not a great sign. Went 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Went out there and knocked out Matt Adams in like 30 seconds. So, yeah, more bad matchmaking. I mean, really, like, what are we? What Terrance Chatman? What? You might as well give him Myron Dennis at this stage. Like, and I did go and watch that Dennis fight, and Chatman did nothing for like 90% of the fight. He did hurt Dennis very badly. I think it was round 3. But other than that, he was just very, very low volume. It was kind of a staring contest. Dennis was the one kind of coming forward, and it was a close fight. I think Chatman won I think it was the 3rd or maybe the 5th, and then the other 3 rounds, just nothing happened. So, yeah, you don't lose to Myron Dennis. Nobody loses to Myron Dennis. I mean, everybody beats Myron Dennis. Like, you look at the current UFC roster, there's a 50% chance, these guys in the UFC have a win over Myron Dennis. Everybody beats this guy. So to lose to Myron Dennis, it's just such a bad look. So, yeah, for me, Wint's going to come out here and probably finish in 60 seconds or less. I think it's gone in 60 seconds here, Wheezy. Especially if Wint fights like he did in the Matt Adams fight. It's like, what the hell is Terrance Chatman going to do about it? And I actually think it's a step down in competition for Wint, because I actually thought Matt Adams is a good fighter. I don't think Chatman's. I mean, if you're losing to Myron Dennis, how am I supposed to say you're a good fighter? So yeah, it's Wint for me, and it's Wint gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah. So the MMA math is telling us to bet Terrance Chatman, because both of these guys fought Omar El Salah, and Chatman knocked out El Salah in the first round, and went to a split decision with this guy. So if you're looking for a reason to bet Terrance Chatman, he's younger by a year and a half. He's 3 inches taller, and he has a better performance against Omar El Salah. But I just don't know if you want to do that, ladies and gentlemen. I think Wint is a big favorite here for a reason, and that's you'd have to be just an idiot to even sign your name on the dotted line to fight against this guy. And don't get me wrong, I don't feel like Wint is like going to be a future champion or anything like that. He's still kind of sloppy, and he relies on his athleticism and his explosiveness. But he's sloppy. He's not very technical. He kind of swings for the fences. I don't know. We'll see what this guy's ceiling is going to be, but the ceiling is always high when you're a guy like Wint, who has that explosive athleticism, the football background. He's going to be a lot more athletic than a lot of the guys that are in this division, and he's going to hit a lot harder than these guys, and just has abilities that these other guys don't have because they're not great athletes. So yeah, I'm fired up to see what Wint's going to have for us at this level. This is a good first fight for him. It's a guy with 6 pro fights who's 5-1. But Chatman's only been a pro for a year and a half, Brady. Oh, Wint actually has been a pro for like 3.5 years. So yeah, I think everything favors the Wint side. He's going to be the better wrestler. He's got more power, and it's a heavyweight fight, so that's good enough.
Yep. I think this might be the first ass chapping of the week. We got Anthony Wint to chap the ass of Terrance Chatman. You heard it here first on Stat Diggers. Nobody else is going to take this guy by ass chapping. We are. So, Weezy, I haven't looked at it yet, but I want to do a prediction on what you think the under 1.5 is, and I'll do my prediction as well. What do you think they have the under? I haven't
seen it, man. I haven't seen it. Well, we just saw minus 280 for the Barbosa fight.
Yep. So what do you think for this one? We'll see who's closer.
Terrance Chatman average fight time 9.7 minutes because he went 25 minutes with Myron Dennis. Oh. Anthony Wint average fight time 5.6 minutes. So I'm going to say minus 250. I don't think it'll be as much as the Barbosa fight.
I'm going to say it's minus 450.
Minus 450. Okay, so that's a lot more expensive than what I think. What is it?
Here we go. Oh, you were closer. Minus 270.
Oh, minus 270. Okay, so it's right about the same price as the Barbosa one.
That's not half bad. I don't hate that as maybe a they won't let you parlay it yet, but
I'm sure they won't. And by the way, the Barbosa under just went to minus 300.
It did what now?
Money's coming in on the under for Barbosa. People were like minus 280, sign me up. Now it's minus 300.
God. So the Wint one will probably move a little bit too.
I mean, it probably does, dude. I mean, they're not going to let you parlay it, but I mean, people can bet that straight at minus 270. I mean, Wint's been to the decision before. Chatman's been to the decision before. So you got to be a little bit, or actually, Chatman's been to the decision twice.
Yeah.
So, anything can happen. It's MMA. We don't know, but
we saw that last week with my titty back.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just play the Gone in 60 seconds at a horrible number.
Yeah, you'll get plus money though.
Oh gosh. So yeah, he's minus 1,000. Terrance Chatman plus 660. I wonder what the ass chapping prop will be. Maybe get minus 150 on the ass chapping.
Yeah, that would. I mean, I think he's going to chap his ass for sure.
Yeah, Barbosa and Wint KO round 1. Parlay is going to be minus 250. Oh God. The Dennis fight was a robbery, but the fight sucked so bad. It was a horrible, horrible fight. And he's got a good point here. Myron Dennis is a marauder.
He is. And I think only like 11 guys have done that to him before.
He's very bad at it, but he is a marauder nonetheless. Carlos is taking the shot. You're taking the shot, Carlos, on Chapman and Kuse money line plus 29.5. Why is this card so chalky? Is the UFC clearing out the bums? No, they've been doing this like the past month or so. Just crazy matchmaking like this. Click the like button. Free. I agree. It's free. Click it up. Somebody's what? What? I don't know about that.
I think we know which one.
Chapman weighs 40 pounds more.
I wonder who benches more.
I mean, this guy.
I wonder who squats more.
Oh God!
I wonder who hits harder.
Yeah, Wint can squat a car. Put a car on him; it'll squat it. Is it minus 270? That's a lock. You can parlay it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, not a bad parlay piece. Serious question: what path does Chapman have against Wint? He can't grapple with Wint. He can't strike with Wint. So what does this? I don't know what the path. I mean, if you can't, I mean, it had to be landing a big shot. I mean, it's heavyweight at the end of the day, and that's his patch. Maybe landing a big shot. All right, let's move on. Maybe we'll get a more fair matchup here. Okay, never mind. We won't get a more fair matchup. It's Shanelle Dyer going against Elise Reed. Chalky card, man. We got Shanelle Dyer, 25 years old, 5'6", with a 65-inch reach. Elise Reed, 33 years old, 5'3", with a 63-inch reach. We got Shanelle Dyer, 8 years younger. Shanelle Dyer with a 3-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. Dyer is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. She made her debut against Ravenna Oliveira, won that fight by knockout. Nobody does that to Ravenna Oliveira, so it was very impressive. But she did lose a decision to Carol Foro on the Contender Series. As far as Elise Reed, 2-3 in her last 5 fights. Submission loss to Loma Lukbunmi. Decision win against Jin Yu Fry. Submission loss against Lupe Godinez, decision win against Jessica Penne, and then a knockout loss against Denise Gomes. Weezy, I made so much money throughout the years betting against Elise Reed, betting on these finish props, betting, I remember I bet Loma to finish inside the distance at a massive number against Elise Reed, and she subbed her. I bet Lupe to win by submission and inside the distance at a big number. I bet Gomes to win inside the distance. I always make a lot of money on these Elise Reed fights because she doesn't have durability. She doesn't have a ground game. I mean, she has 5 losses, Wheezy. All 5 of them come inside the distance, which is a major concern because it's a freaking strawweight fight. Yeah. Strawweight fights, don't really finish that much, and she's getting finished in all of her losses. The cardio is not there. The durability is not there. The ground game is non-existent. So, I'm always looking to fade Elise Reed, and apparently everybody else is too because we got Shanelle Dyer, Wheezy, at minus 700. Oh!
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Minus 700, which I mean, there's no way in hell I'm picking Elise Reed, but geez, if I'm laying minus 700 against Elise Reed, I want somebody who's going to grapple. Yeah. Shanelle Dyer doesn't grapple. I've seen her maybe get a takedown like once her entire career. So, yeah, but yeah, I think Dyer should win. Dyer has really good striking. The one knock on Dyer, I think she is chinny, but might not matter here. The striking is really good. The kicks are really good. Has a really good head kick, really good head kick, pace pressure, all that good stuff. And she probably does destroy Elise Reed here. But yeah, minus 700, which is it's a wide line. It opened up minus 500. Monies came in on Dyer. So just another kind of a lopsided fight here, Wheezy. What do you think about this matchup?
I mean, I don't know how lopsided it is just because it's a striker versus striker matchup and Shanelle Dyer has beaten exactly nobody, who cares if she beat Ravenna Oliveira? Who fucking cares? Who cares if she beat Valentina Scatizzi? Who cares if she beat Miriam Torchinaver?
Hey,
who cares if she beat
for her? Miriam's good, man.
Who cares if she beat Lilia Kazakh? But the point is very well made. If you have 5 losses in the women's strawweight division and they're all finishes, then it's hard to back you because you're clearly showing weaknesses in areas that most of the fighters in these divisions don't show weaknesses in. But Elise Reed looks weak when her opponent is grappling her. And this is a situation where it's going to be a striker versus striker matchup. And Elise Reed is the more experienced fighter. She's the more tested fighter. And she's due for a win. She just trades wins and losses, and she's coming off a loss. So this might be a little bit more of a step up for people than for Dyer than people realize it's going to be. But even in the striker versus striker matchup, I favor Dyer because I think she's going to do more, and I think she's going to land more. And as the fight goes on, Brady, we see Reed kind of slow down and become a lot more vulnerable. So, yeah, it's probably going to be Dyer. But this line is stupid, dude. She shouldn't be anywhere near minus 700. It's a women's strawweight fight. These fights go to decision over 70% of the time. It's going to be hard to back somebody at that price in a striker versus striker matchup.
Yep. No, it is. It's a wide line, man. It's a wide line. But yeah, I'm curious I just don't know if Elise Reed's really bought in anymore. You check her Instagram; she's doing a ton of coaching. She owns her own gym.
She's on a 1 year and 3 month layoff here, Brady, too. So that could really play into the equation here because, like you say, if she is more committed to coaching than she is fighting, this could be her showing up for a paycheck here.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to me. She's like the Matt Shanelle of the division at this point. It's like,
yeah, that's a great comparison because she gets finished all the time.
All the freaking time. So I am curious to see where they put this total. I'm prepared to be pissed off, Wheezy. What's your guess on the total? It's got to be set at 2.5. What do you think the under is here? Do you think they're giving us plus money?
All right. So if an under 2.5 in this division is like plus or is 28% of the time, so these fights go over 2.5 rounds, over 70% of the time. So for an under 2.5, you should absolutely be getting plus money. Yes, unless agreed. Somebody's going in there with one leg,
Agreed.
So like I would think that you would probably be getting like plus 150.
Hey, that's exactly what I was going to say, 150.
Okay, what is it?
Let's see. So at the moment of truth, they are giving us for the under 2.5 rounds. Minus.
No way.
Minus 135.
Dude, that's to me. That's all right. So let me just tell you how.
No, wait, no. Money came in on that. People actually bet that. It's now minus 145. It got worse.
God.
It got worse.
So you're paying 59% for that when only 28% of strawweight fights go under 2.5 rounds. So,
oh God.
I guess the question you have to ask yourself is Elise Reed better than Ravenna Oliveira? And I got to tell you, Brady,
question, man.
I don't know how much of your life you want to spend contemplating that question because it can take you down some very, very dark roads that I don't think you want to go down. Leave that for people like Brady and I who have to put on these shows every week. We have to be, entertaining and informing about these topics. So we might have to answer a question like that. But I mean, expecting Shanelle Dyer to get a finish, I'm telling you, dude, her finish prop is going to have a minus number next to it.
Oh God. I mean, I made a lot of bad bets last week, which is because I've been doing a good job at picking my spots, and this is one where I'm just not touching it. Like I said, I always make so much money on these Elise Reed fights, but how am I supposed to make money on this, Wheezy? How am I supposed to do that? They're pricing me out of it. And if I laid minus 145 on an under in a strawweight fight, and it went over, like we just saw Carol Forho versus that one chick.
Gigi Canuto.
Strawweight fight.
Yeah.
I didn't think that fight was going the distance at all. Actually, striker versus grappler matchup. The fight doesn't go -2; it goes the distance, right? This is a striker versus striker matchup, so I'm surprised that the under's this juice. So I thought we might get a decent number on violence, but no, we're getting the opposite of a decent number.
You want to know what percentage of women's strawweight fights end by KO?
Probably like, give me like 19, 18.
You're actually over by quite a bit, dude. It's basically 1 in 8 for 3-round fights. This doesn't even include 5-round fights where you get an extra 10 minutes to find that knockout. So yeah, man, in the striker versus striker matchup, Shanelle Dyer doesn't even know how to spell sub. And I mean, Elise Reed is a transparent belt. So, nobody's subbing each other here. 1 in 8 strawweight fights ends by KO, and you're paying -145 or 59% implied. I might have to just play that over 2.5 rounds just on pure principle. And then if it goes tits up, Brady, I blame everybody but me.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna.
No, I think that's the smart thing. I think passing is the smart thing. But if we get 300 likes, no, I'm not doing that.
If you get 300 likes, you're gonna play Elise Reed 1 unit. You're gonna play Ryan Hughes 1 unit. You're gonna play Terrance Chatman 1 unit. You're gonna play Jamaal Emmers 2 units. Let's go. We're dog hunting, baby.
I'm telling you, Emmers is gonna wrestle this guy.
Oh, so gross! This is gross. This is disgusting. -700. Shanelle Dyer -145 for an under. Shanelle Dyer ITD is going to be what if the under is chalked? I mean, Dyer ITD is going to be horrible. I mean, oh God,
yeah,
God help us all. God help us all. Does Dyer wrestle? That's how no, and trust me, I looked out for that. I saw her wrestle maybe once, and maybe Dyer. It made me read so bad on the ground that Dyer could actually get a sub. We saw Loma Luke Boonmi get a sub, but it's just something you can't really count on, man. I just haven't seen it. What is Reed by decision? We don't know yet, but it's going to be a pretty big number. She's a really, really big dog.
At least Reed 6-0 to the decision as a pro, by the way, Brady. That's an interesting number.
We cashed on her against Melissa Martinez, I think, back in the day. I actually bet on her against Melissa Martinez.
I remember that. I did too. We both did, and we cashed on her at plus money.
Great bet. Great bet. But I also lost money on her when I bet Corey McKenna very confidently. Very confidently.
God. Don't remind me about that.
That one almost put me into retirement.
It did. I went on like a 10-minute rant about that fight on Stat Diggers on Sunday.
That was bad. That was bad. Shanelle got the KO last time in a crowd. Yeah, against Redvena Oliveira.
Mm-hmm.
Dyer's going in with 3 legs. What? -154. And does DK have totals out already too? If so, DK is on it. Yeah. Wait, do they? Yeah, they do have totals out. Okay.
Really?
So DK has -154, which is even worse. There we go.
Wow. So I'm surprised by that.
I'm actually surprised by it. Like, I get it. I get what they're doing. I get what they're going for. Like, Elise Reed is like Matt Schnell, but geez, give us a break. Parlayed Wint under 1.5 with Barbosa under 1.5 -115. That's not bad. Both fights should finish. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Can we get a competitive matchup here, Wheezy?
I don't know, dude. What's the next? We got a competitive one here.
We do. We got Gage Young going against Stan. How do you pronounce it?
Stan the Drill Dorsainvil. I'm just going to say Dorsainvil. I mean, it might be a little bit different than that, but I'm just going with Dorsainvil.
Okay, we got Gage Young, 26 years old, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. We got Dorsainvil, 26 years old, 5'10" with a 76-inch reach. Same age. Dorsainvil with a 1-inch height advantage and a 6-inch reach advantage. Gage Young is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against was it Evan Elder? Evan Elder, I think. Lost that fight by decision. Yeah. He beat Mahashate by decision. Then he beat Thiago Moises by decision. As far as Dorsainvil, he's making his debut here, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. So this is the one fight I was not able to tape yet, Weezy. I'll be probably taping it tonight or tomorrow. So I'll kick it to you. What do you see in Dorsainvil? And by the way, I'm still a little upset with Gage Young. I remember I had the under in the Gage Young Thiago Moises fight. He hurts Moises very badly, and instead of finishing him Wheezy, he starts dancing and emoting, and even Herzog's like, let's go, Gage. What are you doing? Even Herzog, who probably has an overtake, it's like, Gage, let's fight, man. So kind of pissed at him for that. But I did not look into Dorsainvil yet. But apparently, this from what I'm hearing, this guy's pretty good.
So I watched the Katambwa fight, which was a fight that went all 3 rounds to decision. And I mean, I liked what I saw from this guy. There's pressure, there's pace. He mixes in the grappling. He's durable, and he's he'll flip you off to your face, Brady. He'll get in your face, flip you off. He's talking shit in there. He strikes me as the kind of guy that is gonna have fans because he's exciting. But I need to watch more tape on this guy. There's only 5 fights, so it won't take long. You can go through this guy's entire MMA career in 36 minutes, and one of those fights is 15 minutes long. So I like what I see from this guy. He seems to be very confident. He seems to have that dog in him. He pushes a pace, and he is just as ready to grapple as he is to strike. So love this. I think it's a great signing, man. The guy's only 26 years old. And then Gage Young is another fighter that's 26 years old, but he's proving himself at this level. I mean, when you're 26 years old and you're fighting a guy like Thiago Moises, who has more than 15 UFC fights and has been in there against guys like Makhachev, some of the best fighters in the division, to go out there and win that fight the way that he did and almost find a finish, that was very impressive. Because Thiago Moises has got a way better ground game than Gage Young does. But Gage Young was able to win that fight on damage, and I thought it was a pretty impressive performance. To be lined as a favorite against Moises and then cover that nut, that's really good. And then, I mean, when you look at what Quillen Salkild has done at the UFC level, I mean, arguably Gage Young was his toughest fight, and that was his Dana White Contender Series fight. I mean, the Yanal Ashmos fight played out a lot closer than people thought it would as well. But I've said, I faded Gage Young against Moises. I'm like, man, if you're going to give me Moises at plus money, I'm taking it, dude. He could land heavy calf kicks. He could get into big dominant positions on the mat here. But Gage Young passed that test. And I think that this is a much easier test because I don't think Dorsainvil offers that much more in terms of experience, power striking, especially because he does seem to be more of a grappler than he is a striker, Brady. 3 wins by submission for Dorsainvil, 1 by KO, 1 by decision. So this is a great fight, dude. But, I mean, I have to lean to the Gage Young side because of experience, because of strength of schedule. And I just know that the names that he's went out there and been, like even the Mahashate fight, right? That was in China. So he went all the way to China and beat a Chinese dude. And that was only the second fight of his UFC career. And he was coming off a loss. So I think that's really impressive. That's not easy to do, to fly halfway across the world into hostile territory and beat a guy that's a lot more experienced than you. So yeah, I've been really impressed with Gage Young. I think he's a great prospect. I think the career trajectory is headed in the right direction. And I still need to do more research, though, on Dorsainvil. I only watched a little bit of the Holt fight, but I did watch the whole Katambwa fight, and I was impressed with that performance, Brady.
Yeah, I think Gage is a great dancer. I'll say that. Like, if this was like a dance battle, I feel like he'd be minus 1,000 here. Because I was really impressed with his dance moves in the Moises fight, but this is not a dance battle, and money is poured in on Dorsainvil, and I mean a lot of money is poured in on him. Wheezy's opened up at plus 207. He is down to plus 100. Gage Young is opened up minus 250. He's down to minus 120. So judging by the line movement, I think we probably get a line flip because that's a big move, and it's only Sunday, so we might even get a line flip here. So yeah, I've heard a lot of people very high on Dorsainvil. I'm going to go tape it myself probably tonight or tomorrow. So the over-under set at 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 140. Under 2.5 is plus 120. I might bet that the Gage Young dancing prop. I think it might be maybe even money, Gage Young to dance in the cage. I think I might look at that, but other than that, I still got to look into this one as well more. Braden Weezy got invited to Indonesia version of Dancing with the Stars. The big hits over there. Let's go. Appreciate that. You guys are my favorite MMA duo. Appreciate that, Klaus. There is no wiki feat for Elise Reed or Shanelle Dyer, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Young is a lock. Oh, a lot of people are going the other way, man. Gage Young has some sick dance moves. He has some of the best dance moves out there, man. I mean, this guy can dance, dude. This guy can dance. Obviously, Gage, right? What could go wrong? Nothing, man. Nothing. Give this guy a few more wins, and he's talking like Nate the Train. Oh gosh. Big Herzog have him. Yeah, Herzog has plenty of both and plenty of hose.
Mm-hmm.
Gage down on the dance floor. Yeah, like I said, if it was a battle of like a dance off, I mean, Gage Young might be the one of the best dancers in the UFC. Even top 5, certainly top 5. Money Mine included, been pouring in on Stanley. I'd suggest getting that tape done ASAP. Well, already missed the line, man. I mean, last time I looked, it was like plus 160 down to plus 100. That's a significant move. Stanley any good? Apparently he might be. Bet your life savings on Young. Oh, I don't know about that, dude. Gage Young by hip thrust. I can see that. I can see Gage Young by hip thrust. I don't mind a shot on that. All right, let's move on to the next fight. And it is going to be, oh, God. We got Jamaal Emmers going against Lerryan Douglas. We got Jamaal Emmers, 37 years old, 5'10", with a 74-inch reach. Lerryan Douglas, 31 years old, 5'9", with a 72-inch reach. Douglas, 6 years younger. Emmers with a 1-inch height advantage and a 2-inch reach advantage. We got Emmers 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Had a decision loss against Jack Jenkins, a knockout win against Dennis Bazukia, knockout loss to Nate Landwehr, a knockout win against Gabriel Miranda, and then a decision win against Hyder Emil. As far as Lerryan Douglas, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He knocked out poor Cam Teague brutally in the first round on the Contender Series, and then he knocked out poor Julian Erosa brutally in his debut. So we talked about one hard-hitting featherweight in Marcio Barbosa. How about another hard-hitting featherweight and Lerryan Douglas? I mean, this guy has dynamite in his hands. This guy can knock out a bus with his hands. I mean, there's probably a good chance he knocks out Emmers here, who's 37 years old, who I've never thought has the best chin. But Emmers does have a path here. Maybe I think minute for minute it should be competitive. Like, Emmers is a good striker, good boxing, good volume from Emmers, and then Emmers also is a good wrestler with good grappling as well. Problem I've had with Emmers has just been the fight IQ. He's made some very bad mistakes in there, like the Pat Sabatini fight where we played footsies with Pat Sabatini instead of letting him back up. The Giga Chikadze fight where he didn't wrestle for over half the fight. So in theory, Jamaal Emmers should probably wrestle here, and if not, you just don't want to play around on the feet too much with Douglas because this guy has some of the best power in the division. I truly believe that. So I'm leaning Douglas here, but he's a pretty big favorite. 80% implied here at minus 400. Emmers is plus 316. It's a featherweight fight. Weezy, the under is juiced to the tits at minus 180 as well. So they're expecting violence in this fight, and I don't really blame them.
How could you, man? Because like Jamaal Emmers voluntarily struck with Giga Chikadze when they fought, and I mean, everybody knew at the time of that fight that Giga had just made the switch from kickboxing to MMA. Everybody knew this guy didn't have any ground game. And he doesn't shoot his first takedown until like 7 minutes into the fight. Like, it was almost halfway through the second round, and he got it easily. And then he drops Pat Sabatini and then goes for a foot lock. Literally starts going for a toe hold against Pat Sabatini, who then just snatches up his heel, puts it in his armpit, and puts him out for a year by tearing up his knee. And then it's not just even that, Brady. After that, this guy went to a split decision loss with Jack Jenkins.
Oh,
and here's the thing, right? That's not bad on its face. But Jack Jenkins can't stop a fucking takedown to save his life. Jamaal Emmers could have 30-27 the shit out of Jack Jenkins if he had a fucking brain in his head. And what does he do? He goes out there and he strikes with him and loses a goddamn split decision. Now he's fighting Lerryan Douglas, who's been submitted twice, who's been knocked out twice, who's got thunder in his hands. And what is Jamaal Emmers going to do? You think he's got the fight IQ to go out there and shoot a takedown 30 seconds into this fight?
No.
I mean, probably not, Brady. He's just not very smart, man. Like the decisions that this guy is making in the cage, and now this is an IQ test. You're fighting one of the hardest hitters in this division, a guy with how many straight KO wins? What is it, like 5 in a row for Lerryan at this point? Might even be 6 or 7. So, yeah, this is an IQ test for Emmers, and I know that he's a really good, really well-rounded, experienced fighter, well-tested too. And I know that if he went out here and wrestled, he could give himself a chance to take this fight into deep enough waters where he could take some of the sting off of Lerryan's punches. But I can't count on him to do that. So I'm going to just have to see where that Lerryan Douglas first round KO prop opens.
Yeah, man.
Douglas Nate Landwehr's knocking you out in round 1, Brady. What's Lerryan Douglas going to do to you?
Was that Landwehr's last win? Was it Emmers?
I'm pretty sure. Let me click on Landwehr's name.
Because
he's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's lost 4 out of his last 5, and the win was against Jamaal Emmers, Brady.
And I'll tell you right now, Landwehr is never going to win a fight ever again. I mean, Landwehr is shot to bits. I'm talking. He looks like Darren Elkins out there. Nate Landwehr. He looks like Darren Elkins.
Yeah. I mean, like he made a 42-year-old Cub Swanson look like prime Anderson Silva.
He did.
He did. Yeah, I mean, as much as, I like to give people like, hey, just because this guy is plus 300, there is a path here, and there is a path for Emmers, but he would have to do the smart thing in order to take that path. And we've seen him do the dumb thing too many goddamn times. The fight IQ in the Jenkins fight, in the Giga fight, and in the other one that we talked about, which was what was it? The
Jenkins, right?
Sabatini.
Oh, Sabatini. Yeah.
He goes for a toe hold against Sabatini after he dropped him and almost knocked him out.
Yeah, the fight IQ's not there. By the way, Nate Landwehr versus a Jai Herbert victim in Mondel Nalo. October 17th. Where's that?
Garbage going to go out. Well, now he's Mango, but
oh wow, they're giving Mango Nate Landwehr in Canada. They're kind of throwing him a bone there potentially.
Oh, okay.
See if he can get it done against the completely shot to bits Nate Landwehr.
That's got to be the Edmonton card. Yep.
Yes, it is. That's gonna be a fun fight. But yeah, Lerryan Douglas minus 400, Emmers plus 315. The under 1.5 minus 180. It opened up minus 105, which should have been pretty cool. Minus 180 now. The over 1.5 opened up minus 115. It's now plus 157. So money is coming on the under, which I get. Watch Emmers be the well spot. Another massive dog cashing. We had like 3 massive dogs cash last night. You never know. And we've got a bunch of dogs that are massive on this card. Barbosa versus Douglas, one day will be fireworks. Yeah, somebody might die in that fight. I mean, those guys both have so much power. So much power. Douglas Klebman sub easy. All I want is violence. God, I hate Islam. Yeah, Makhachev went out there and did what he needed to do. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but he got the job done. Can't wait to see Emmers face down, ass up on the canvas. Okay. Oh, God. Lerryan Douglas as a parlay leg. Yeah. I can see it. I've never seen someone teleport from a jab the way Rosa did. Yeah, I mean, this guy, Douglas, was hurting Rosa with a jab, dude. I mean, this guy has next level power. And yes, somebody will be getting served in round 1 of that fight. I legit might fall asleep during Dawson versus Aliyev. I'm actually intrigued by that fight, actually. I think it's going to be a fun fight. Lerryan will retire Emmers. He might, man. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be the most competitive fight on the card, according to the odds. We got Nasrat Haqparast going against Chris Padilla. We got Haqparast 5'10" with a 72-inch reach, 30 years old. Chris Padilla 30 years old as well, 5'9" with a 74-inch reach, same age. Haqparast 1-inch height advantage and Padilla a 2-inch reach advantage. Haqparast 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Landon Quinones, knockout win against Jamie Malarkey, decision win against Jared Gordon, decision win against Esteban Ribovics, and a knockout win against knockout loss against Quillen Salkilled with a nasty head kick. As far as Padilla, 4-0 and 1 draw in his last 5 fights. Submission win against Hamaz Yantop in the first round, knockout win against Rong Zhu, a decision win against Jai Herbert, knockout win against Ismail Bonfim, and then a draw against Mederos. So I've been very impressed with Chris Padilla. I think most people have been very impressed with Chris Padilla because when I first saw him go into the UFC, I kind of thought he was a bum, dude. I thought he was a bum, but shortly realized that he's not. He's not a bum by any means. And this is the closest line fight on the entire card. It is about a straight pick 'em, minus 115 Haqparast, minus 105 Padilla. And I think that line makes a lot of sense because Weezy, in my opinion, I think these two are very, very well matched here.
Yeah, they really are because, Haqparast is obviously going to be the more tested striker, and he's a lot more defensively sound than Padilla is. Padilla does take a lot of damage because of the style that he fights with. When you fight with that much pressure and aggression, you're going to be hittable. But, Haqparast has been a lot more defensively responsible, and we've seen him go in there against guys that put on a bit of a pace like Ribovics and Gordon. Landon Quinones fight even was a really high volume striking match where both guys were having some success. So I think Padilla is going to be able to keep this really close. The one thing that's really impressive about Chris Padilla is that the guy has got 5 UFC fights and he hasn't lost yet. But usually when you go out there and you cash as an underdog once or twice, then the market starts to pick up. They understand that you're outperforming expectations. They start to want to back you. The market hasn't figured it out yet, Brady.
No.
This guy Padilla has been an underdog in all 5 fights. He's 4-0-1. The average betting line is plus 159, and he's got 191% ROI. The only fight that he was actually priced as a what was it? Yeah, minus 160 favorite against Mederos last time out. So he's got a 0% ROI as a favorite, but in those underdog matchups, he's 4-0. So it took the market until his 5th UFC fight to finally price this guy at a place where he was going to be have the advantage. So it's the other thing with Haqparast, he's been a big favorite in a lot of his fights, and when he's priced as a favorite, he's 8-0 with a minus 330 average betting line and a 32% ROI. But when the market puts him as like a pick 'em or an underdog, he's 2-5 with a negative 21% ROI. So Padilla's done a much better job of outperforming the market expectations. Maybe Padilla has a little bit of grappling upside, but I see this fight as being a striking match. And I'm just a little bit worried because we've got about a 10-month layoff for Nasrat Haqparast, which is a must when you take the kind of knockout that he took in his last fight. Obviously, when you get knocked out cold, highlight reel style by a head kick, shin to chin, you better take at least 9 months off. Probably better if you take a year off. So long layoff here for Haqparast. And I'm a little bit worried about the durability. The defense has always been good. The pace has always been good. And he is a guy who can fight through adversity. But that head kick that he ate in the last fight, that knocks out the entire division. So we don't really know how badly the durability in the chin has been affected by taking that kind of a knockout. But what we do know about Padilla is that this guy's got no quit in him. He's been extremely durable, and he's going to make you fight him. So that loss by KO for Haqparast, who's a guy who's absorbed a lot of significant strikes in the Quinones fight, in the Ribovics fight, something tells me if you were to fight Ribovics after the Salkilled fight, then we might have seen Ribovics knock this guy out because you can't take shots like that and then expect to be as durable as you were before you took the shot. So I'm leaning to the Padilla side here in a pick'em fight because he's got a little bit more momentum and positive career trajectory going right about now than Nasrat Haqparast does coming off of a potentially career-changing knockout in his last fight.
Yeah, that's a good point about the durability. Like, not only the Salkilled brutal knockout by Ribovics landed a head kick at the end of round 3 that hurt Haqparast very badly. And then Jared Gordon hurt Haqparast in round 2 at some point as well. So he's gotten hurt in his last 3 fights. So and he's taking a lot of damage. So yeah, that's a good point.
It's going to be a great fight, dude. I'm really looking forward. These guys are going to be in each other's face, just beating the piss out of each other. But yeah, in that type of attritional matchup, I think I'm favoring Padilla right now.
Yeah, I lean his way. Not extremely confident, but Taco money line. Padilla is a lock. Jeez. Another bang. Yeah, it's a banger, man. It's a banger. Caught Padilla at plus odds. He might be plus odds on some books still, right? Let's see. Is he? No, he's not. Looks like, yeah, it's about to pick him everywhere. So it looks like a little bit of money's coming in on Padilla. Padilla will win. I'm on the other side of Padilla. Good luck. You're on the Nasrat side. Nasrat should roll. Nasrat means take a shit and rush him. Maybe he'll take a shit here. You never know. Does Nasrat not? He looks exactly like Kelvin Gastelum. Exactly like Kelvin Gastelum. Yeah, Padilla has some nasty elbows, and he'll throw them too. He'll throw them against the cage. He'll throw them at range, at distance. He'll throw those elbows. TriStar, stand up.
Let's go.
Stand up. Taco just based on durability difference, question marks on Nasrat side, in my opinion. Yeah, it's fair points. Let's see. So yeah, straight pick them. Like I said, the over under set at 2.5. And Wheezy, since these guys are both very, very durable, the over is minus 160. The under is plus 120. And what I'll say, if you bet an over in this fight, it may hit, but it also might take 5 years off your life because these guys are going to stand and bang in the phone booth for 15 minutes. So yeah, I think it might go over, but it's gonna be sketchy. It's gonna be sketchy for sure, especially with question marks on the chin of Nasrat Haqparast.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those fights where if you bet the under, it might not cash, but you'll probably say to yourself after the fight, man, those guys gave me a chance to cash that. They stood on the on the monster logo and just swung.
Yeah. Have these absolute penis munchers not realized that nothing's a lock? Yeah, nothing's a lock, guys.
Nothing's a lock, dude.
We just had a minus 1,800.
Boy lost.
Yeah, nothing's a lock. Nothing. All right. We had Andre Lima lose to Kevin Borjas.
God. That was a brilliant game plan by Borjas, though. I got to hand it to him. I mean, he ran away and he touched and he ran. He touched, he ran, and he ran and he ran and he ran. A little bit of a touch and then more running. It worked.
Just run away. Run away. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. Before we get into the main event, if you guys could do us a huge favor, we have almost 500 watching, and be sure to smash the like button for us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We go live every Sunday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. We're never late. We're always on time. If you guys are watching on X, hit the retweet for us. Hit the like on X as well. And main event time, Weezy. Let's go. Wes Party Time Schultz going against Jackson McVey. We got Wes Party Time Schultz. He's 30 years old, 6'2", with a 77-inch reach. Jackson McVey, 27 years old, 6'4", with a 77-inch reach. We got Jackson McVey 3 years younger. McVey with a 2-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. Wes Party Time Schultz, he's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He had his second chance on the Contender Series against Mario Mingaj. Won that fight by first round submission. He made his debut against Damian Penis, and Penis piped him on sight in round 1. And then he got a submission win over Ben Johnston in round number 3. As far as Jackson McVey is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, made his debut against Bruno Ferreira, lost that fight by first round submission. Got submitted in the second round by Zach Reese, and then submitted Cedricus Dumas in the very first round. So, yeah, Weezy, I hate to say it because I like parties, and I know you've been at a fair share of parties for sure, especially back in the day. But I have a feeling that the party might be over. I have a feeling that the neighbors called the cops. The cops showed up and they said, "Everybody, get out! Go home now! Go! Everybody, get out! Go home! It's late. You're being too loud. We're getting calls and complaints all over the neighborhood. Go home." I feel like the party's over. I feel like the party's canceled with Wes Schultz. Wheezy, you got to go back and watch our reaction to Ben Johnston versus Wes Schultz. We were laughing at Wes Schultz.
I know.
We were laughing at him. He pulls guard in the first 30 seconds. He has some of the worst takedown entries you'd ever see in your entire life. He's shooting from 50 feet out. He looks horrible. He looks so bad. His striking looks like some of the worst. I mean, Jillian Robertson's a better striker than Wes Schultz. I mean, he looks so bad, but he let Ben Johnson let Wes Schultz hang around, and Wes Schultz didn't give up, and Wes Schultz eventually submitted Ben Johnston. But man, did Wes Schultz look god awful for the first 7 minutes, man. I mean, he looked bad in the penis fight. Like, apparently this guy has a wrestling background. I couldn't tell because he has some of the worst takedown entries you've ever seen in your entire life. But it's a winnable fight for Schultz if he survives this early storm. So Jax McVey, he's very dangerous in the clinch. He actually has a disgusting clinch game. He was very close to finishing Zach Reese. At one point, he dropped Zach Reese in the first round with a knee to the body. He hurt Dumas in the clinch as well. You go watch his fights outside the UFC. He's destroying guys in the clinch. I honestly think this guy has a disgusting clinch game with the knees, with the elbows. And then he also has very good front chokes. He has multiple front chokes, lots of darces. He got a darce against Enriquez Dumas, and nobody does that. So, yeah, I think McVey's going to have some opportunities here to, beat Schultz up in the clinch. I don't think Schultz likes getting hit at all. I could see Schultz pulling guard. If McVey gets on top, could see McVey kind of pound away with punches and elbows, and could see Schultz covering up. Could see Schultz shooting in on a sloppy takedown and McVey locking up a darce, and then could see McVey, finishing him in the clinch. So I think there's a lot of different ways for McVey to beat this guy up and finish him early. But my concerns, Weezy, I have two concerns. The first concern is if this fight hits the second round, because the one time we did see McVey get into the second round, he looked awful. I mean, he looked awful in the second round against Zach Reese. Zach Reese took him down with no resistance whatsoever, and Zach Reese finished him shortly after. Made Zach Reese look like Damian Maia. The other concern is if Wes Schultz somehow gets a takedown early. I think Wes Schultz can even finish the fight early as well. So this is a wild one, man. It's the people's main event. I think somebody's getting served here, whether it's Jax McVey with a front choke or some clinch work, or Wes Schultz eventually gets on top and finds a submission of his own right. So very intriguing fight. West Party Time Schultz, honestly, one of my favorite fighters, man. This guy's fun. He likes to party, man. You can tell when you watch this guy fight. It's like a party. It's fun, man. It's a good time.
It really is. We were smiling ear to ear while he was fighting Ben Johnson. That was one of the most entertaining fights ever. If you like really bad wrestling, I mean, you're gonna love that fight. Like, it's bizarre, Brady, because this guy Schultz was like either an All-American twice or like a national finalist in Division 2A or in Division 2 wrestler at two different programs, I think. Like, he's got a legit wrestling background. And when you watch this guy in the Pinas fight and the Johnson fight, it's the worst wrestling I've ever seen.
Ever.
It's so fucking bad. Like, he's shooting from way out and then pulling guard. It's like he's not even trying to complete the takedowns. It's almost like he doesn't want to even be in top position. Like he would rather be on his back looking for guard submissions, like guillotines and arm bars and triangles. So somebody like McVey, I think, is going to cook him in the clinch. I think he's going to be better at striking range, which I don't think Jackson McVey is a better striker than anybody. But now that he's fighting Wes Schultz, I'm like, holy shit, Jackson's the better striker. So, I mean, this one is probably it's guaranteed to be probably a fight that I'm laughing out loud at. But I think somebody gets served here, dude, because Jackson McVey's submission defense, dude, it's really bad.
It is.
And if Jackson gets you in the clinch, dude, his clinch game is so nasty. He's literally might have the best damn clinch game in the middleweight division, and that is not. I don't care who even the top 5 are. I've never seen anybody as dangerous in the clinch as Jackson McVey is. Like, he's like a Cheaty. You remember when Cheaty would get in the clinch and he would just ruin dudes? Like, that's how Jackson is, man. The knees and the elbows are nasty, and he's always looking to land when he's there too. And if you shoot a shit shot on him, he's gonna go for the darce or anaconda or the guillotine and look to lock your neck up. So I could see either guy getting a submission early. I could see Jackson McVey getting a KO because Schultz is so hittable, not just at distance striking range, but he could do it in the clinch as well. And Wes might wind up on the bottom here, and if he shoots a shit shot, he might wind up in Jackson's Darce. So, I mean, McVey's minus 175, but I think I'd rather just play the under 1.5 at minus 180 because that is going to cover almost all of Jackson McVey's win condition. But it also, takes into account that Jackson's sloppy with his submission defense and that Wes is going to be looking for submissions nonstop. So, yeah, I think somebody probably gets served early here, Brady. This is a fun fight.
It should be absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I can't see it not being funny.
Wes Schultz is gonna pull guard 20 seconds in. It's gonna be a fun time, dude. It's gonna be a fun time. Can you bet on somebody to pull guard? Because I'd max bet Wes Schultz.
I mean, would too, dude. And I mean, he doesn't want to do that against Jackson.
Well, he's going to. He's gonna pull guard. He is. He's gonna shoot a terrible shot. He's not gonna get it, and then he's gonna pull guard.
Dude, he made Ben Johnson look like he had Jose Aldo level takedown defense.
It was so bad.
And Ben Johnson hadn't fought in 3 years.
I know.
He was winning that fight like convincingly. It was crazy.
What a mess. Yeah, Jax McVey, minus 175. Wesley Schultz, plus 155. The under, minus 180. The over, plus 155. We got Cody No Love's barf bucket in the room. Brady, I'm feeding my children dry dog food because of Oral Boy. Send help. Oh, gosh, man.
That hurts.
Oh, gosh. Party. I think the party's over, man. We'll see, though. We'll see. Wesley Schultz is one of these guys he'll surprise you. He'll surprise you. If the cop sounded like you, I would stay longer. Oh, Schultz already fooled you twice. Oh, gosh. Just subscribe from my other account. I'm also Seattle Ryan. Got to walk the dog. Need to listen to the picks. Appreciate that, Ryan. Sorry, boys. The Goth Baddies went live and pulled away. No shame in that. You got to listen to the Goth Baddies, man. No shame in that whatsoever. Schultz was a JUCO wrestler, was 63-35, as in 35 losses. Really?
Yeah, that's actually still a pretty good record, though. You don't see a lot of guys that are winning 85-90% of their matches in college. If you are, you're going to nationals and you're going to place.
Yeah. McVey, I'll make party time fold from elbows in the clinch. Oh, Schultz got out wrestled by Ben Johnston. He did. I mean, he did, man.
Yeah,
he did. Wes Schultz fights like he got drunk. He does. He looks drunk in there, Wheezy.
I know.
He looks like somebody drugged him, man.
If somebody would have told me that this guy was like a national finalist JUCO wrestler, I would have been like, yeah, right. His wrestling looked so bad in his UFC fight so far.
It looks so bad. Congrats on the huge show last night, boys. Big up, Stat Diggers gang. Appreciate that, Xavier. I got the ass shaved with flapjacks while I was scrolling WikiFeed. Oh, gosh. You got to get off WikiFeed, man. That's 60%. That's 60% is it's failing. That's failing.
Well, that's failing, if you're taking a test, a math test.
Yeah.
If you're wrestling at the collegiate level, 60%, it's certainly not great, but I know that this guy has accolades. I know that he was either a national finalist.
47-0 in high school. There you go.
That's crazy. That's crazy that this guy was a state champion wrestler, because when you see what he does in the cage, it looks like he's never wrestled a day in his life.
Was he wrestling against like middle schoolers, or what were they doing?
He was in Wisconsin. It's not like it's not a state that's devoid of wrestling. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's so weird. So weird. Was definitely in the arena, and he definitely looks drunk all the time. Yeah, he looks drunk. He looks drugged. Oh gosh. There we go. 115. Heck yeah, 115 likes already. Maybe we get 150 by the time we get out of here. Let's go. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. Oh God. We got Shamil Gaziev going against Kennedy Nzechukwu. We got Kennedy, 34 years old, 6'5", with an 83-inch reach. We got Shamil Gaziev, 36 years old, 6'4", with a 78-inch reach. We got Kennedy, 2 years younger. We got Kennedy with a 1-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. We got Kennedy Nzechukwu, who is 2-1 draw in his last 5 fights, a decision loss to Wint St. Preux, a knockout win against Chris Barnett, knockout win against Lucas Bresky, a submission loss to Walter Walker, and then a draw against Marcus Buchecha. As far as Gaziev, 2-3 in his last 5 fights, knockout loss to Narzino Rosenstruck, decision win against Dontel Mays, knockout win against Thomas Peterson, knockout loss against Waldo Cortez Acosta, and then a knockout loss to Brando Pericic. So on paper, it looks like a winnable matchup for Kennedy. Like, he has the size, he has the height advantage, the reach advantage, the big cardio advantage. He's durable in some fights. He's durable in some fights. He's looking like Matt Schnell out there. Like, his durability makes no sense to me. It's like, are you durable or not, man? Are you durable or not, Kennedy? Because in some fights, like in the Olberg fight, he eats like 100 significant strikes and doesn't go down. But in the Da Un Jung fight, he eats a fake strike and gets wobbled. So I don't know if he's durable or not. But yeah, Kennedy just one of these guys that we've been talking about it for years, Weezy. It's like one of these days, Kennedy's going to put it all together. He's got all the physical attributes. He's going to put it together one day, and he just never has. And I'm just not sure if he ever will at this point is the problem. He moved out of Fortis, which is great because obviously it wasn't freaking working for the last 6 years. But he moved to Iron MMA with, I think the only notable fighter that is working there or training there is Greg Hardy. So although I like the move out of Fortis, it's like, why is Greg Hardy your main training partner now? Why not go to like Syndicate? Why not go to Extreme Couture? No, he's training at Iron MMA in Texas, I think. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Kennedy could potentially weather an early storm here. If this fight gets to round 2, I think his chances of winning skyrocket, but I'm also very, very concerned and worried that Shamil might land one shot and Kennedy just goes down. Looks like Kennedy's focusing a lot on coaching nowadays. So yeah, it's a tough fight to call. I'm going to lean Shamil to touch the chin of Kennedy, but I'm just not high on either one of these guys, to be honest. What are your thoughts on this fight, Weezy?
Yeah, I think it's a bad matchup for Shamil because he's so front loaded. My favorite Shamil Gaziev moment is his Dana White Contender Series fight, where he goes out there and he wins the fight. I think it was less than 2 minutes. I'd have to look it up for sure to see how long it actually took. But and then he's in the cage. He gets his hand raised. He walks out to do the interview 5 minutes after the fight ends, where he was fighting for 2 minutes. And he can't even talk. He's so tired still from fighting for 2 minutes and dominating that he can barely give the interview. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's conditioning is absolutely brutal. And then he went out there and really did a great job against Jairzinho Rosenstruck in round 1. But then after round 1, there was just nothing there. And he's got wins over Dontel Mays, over Thomas Peterson. And then he lost to, Waldo Cortez Acosta, and he got knocked out by Waldo early. Perisic, that's a killer. Rosenstruck, he wasn't ready for that fight. But I don't know how good Gaziev is. Because if this guy wrestles at all, Brady, he's going to have nothing left in the following round. So that's going to be a problem for him. I feel like unless he knocks out Kennedy and Nzechukwu in round number 1, that there's no way that the pace of Nzechukwu doesn't break this guy in half. So I'm really looking forward to this fight because I don't think Nzechukwu should be plus money here, because you can't tell me that Shamil Gaziev has any win condition at all against this particular type of opponent after round 1, in my opinion. So I kind of like fight doesn't go to decision here, but the market's definitely onto it because Gaziev is not going to be he's not going to be able to do much after 5 minutes. And Nzechukwu is somebody who can push a pace and who's known for having good conditioning for these upper divisions. But Gaziev's going to be live to find that first round finish because Dustin Jacoby did it to him. We saw Kennedy get knocked out by Da Un Jung in round 1. We saw him get subbed by Walter Walker. We saw him go to a split decision with fucking Wint St. Preux, who was like 42 years old at the time. So it's hard to trust either of these guys, but I wouldn't want to lay minus 130 on somebody whose win condition is a first round finish against a guy in Nzechukwu who's got, a fair amount more of pro experience and UFC experience, and who has a considerable conditioning advantage in addition to size, length advantages as well.
Yeah, I think Kennedy's probably a good live bet because this guy doesn't really start fighting until 7.5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes into the fight. So maybe a live bet on Kennedy. I have a funny feeling he gets knocked out here round one.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's just my funny, like, this guy got knocked down by 50-year-old Ovin St. Preux. So I don't know, but yeah, maybe like a Gaziev KO1, maybe like a Kennedy 2-3 type thing. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. Over understead at about a pick. Well, money came in on the over 1.5 minus 120, under 1.5 plus 110. Gaziev minus 130. Kennedy is plus 110. Disgusting fight. I'm betting my emergency fund on McVey. Oh God. I'm betting my kids' college fund on Gaziev. Oh my God. Kennedy is he is, man. You never know what to expect with Kennedy, man. Sometimes he looks incredible. Sometimes he looks like the worst fighter on the roster. It's just make up your mind, man. Make up your mind. Big meal Shamil, let's go. Let's go. Greg Hardy is your main training partner. Yeah, I don't like that.
Probably better than Ryan Spann, though.
Well, Ryan Spann doesn't even train, he said.
I know.
Kennedy's probably like, where's Ryan at? He's at the bar. He's out playing video games again.
Oh, Kennedy's like in fight camps, being like, "Where's Ryan? Where's my sparring partner?" And then they feed him some lightweight over there at Fortis. Here, get in there and spar with Ryan's sleeping.
Ryan's sleeping. Wake up, Ryan.
It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Why is he sleeping? Well, Ryan needs his sleep. Okay.
Oh gosh, I kind of like Kennedy by decision. Yeah, I could see that. I'm selling my kidney and betting it on Gaziev. What's wrong with you, man? This is true. Shamil is a marauder. He definitely is a marauder.
Hardy's masculinity, that much we do know.
Oh yeah, Hardy is an elite training partner. 7 KOs. Oh God, 8 if you include his X. Oh no. Yikes. We got Blom Dog. Hey, what's up, Brady? On community. Shamil versus Kennedy. Oh yeah, it's a rough one, man. It's a rough one. What is funny is Brando was just as gassed doing his interview after dominating Louis Sutherland, and then when he went out there and out cardioed Shamil. Yeah,
that's true. He did.
Yeah, he did. Kennedy's a chump. Oh God. Kennedy got the speed advantage. Why bet Kennedy pre if Shamil probably wins round 1 at 60%? I think he wins round 1 at like 90%. I mean, Kennedy's such a slow starter. Gaziev got that wrestling. He will, but I don't think it's a good idea to wrestle here. Like Weezy said, it's only going to tax his horrible cardio. Kennedy has a head case. Can't tell if he's in there. IQ is shot. Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. I think Gaziev gasses after round 1 and Kennedy, no killer instinct fight goes to decision. Yeah, I can't believe that Buchecha fight went to decision because Buchecha was kind of gassed too. Gaziev needs to get on the EPO. Gaziev under 1.5. Kennedy round 2-3 KO. A true coin flip. Kennedy almost lost 2 rounds to Marcus Buchecha. That fight was disgusting. I'm glad I didn't have any money on that fight. We got the boss in the building. What is up? What is up? Remember when Rosenstruck popped the gum shield out of Shamil's mouth?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy Shamil, his mouth is wide open as soon as the fight starts, Weezy.
I know. That's why the gum shield kept popping out, because he couldn't keep his mouth closed, man. He was exhausted.
As soon as the fight starts. It's crazy. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll be touching this fight, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, moving on to the next fight. We got Carli Judice going against Jeisla Chaves. We got Carli Judice, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. Chaves, 29 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. We got Judice 2 years younger. 1-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. We got Judice 3-2 in her last 5 fights. Decision loss against Ernesta Carrascate. Decision loss against Gabriela Fernandez. Knockout win against Eunice Duben. Knockout win against Nicole Cagliari. And a decision win against Juliana Killer Miller. As far as Chaves, she has 5-0 her last 5 fights. A split decision win against Sofia Montenegro. And then a split decision win against Eunice Duben. So I was very, very disappointed with Chaves in that Duben fight. Because you're really not going to get an easier matchup in the division, and it's like she went life and death with Duben. I couldn't believe it. she was getting outstruck by Duben at distance. She was looking tired. She was getting beat up. Ended up going to split decision and winning that fight. The Montenegro fight, if you remember, if you go back and watch that fight, she should have lost that fight. Montenegro was in top position in the third round, and the ref was kind of warning Montenegro to work, and she thought that the ref was telling her to get up. So instead of continuing to work, she stands right back up, and that actually lost her the fight. So I just haven't been impressed with Chaves on her Contender Series fight or against Duben. And if you look at the fights prior to that, it's the worst level of competition you'll ever see in your entire life. Like if you go back and watch some of these fights, she's fighting in elementary school gymnasiums. She's fighting in shopping malls. It's just a bad look. So she's taken an astronomical step in the competition, going from a punching bag in Sofia Montenegro, going from Eunice Duben, who I don't think is any good, to Carli Judice, who's very good. Judice is very good. Like even her 2 losses, you could argue that she beat Fernandez. You could argue that she beat Carrascate. Those were 2 very, very close fights. The volume's elite. The striking's elite. She's got some pop on her punches and her kicks. Her takedown defense doesn't look half bad. So, yeah, they're kind of setting Carli Judice up here for success. I don't think Chaves likes getting hit. I've seen her hurt a lot. Her striking defense stinks. Her cardio stinks. I don't think she's going to grapple Judice. So, yeah, I like Judice here, but, so do the odds makers. Judice is a significant favorite. She was minus 650. A little bit of money has came in on Chaves, though, so Judice is sitting around minus 525 now. So, yeah, I like Judice, but another juicy, chalky favorite here, Uncle Weezy.
Yeah, and I mean Chaves, like you said, she hasn't fought a good level of competition before she got here, and then the Montenegro fight. Montenegro was somebody that the market didn't really even know who was going to win that fight, but Montenegro was a decent sized favorite, but they proved that they were both just out there swinging. There's not a lot of technical skill on the Chaves side, and then going to a split decision with somebody like Duben, not a good look when Carli carved her up in less than a minute. So, yeah, I think Judice throws more, lands more, probably the more technical striker for sure. Definitely the better long-range weapons. And I don't see Jeisla having much in the way of grappling upside, as neither one of these fighters has any pro wins by submission. So it's striker versus striker. Carli's going to be 1 inch taller, a little bit younger, a lot more tested. You look at the last 5 names: Carrasquecha, Fernandez, Duben, Cagliari, Juliana Killer Miller, while Jeisla is fighting Serghei Lalit, Marcela Silva, Rebecca Maria Sosa. And then, like you said, the Montenegro fight, she was a punching bag there. They were both landing big shots. And then a win against Duben, and then both wins are split decisions. So she's on very thin margins here against somebody that doesn't really fight on those type of margins, because Carli's volume is so much more than the rest of the division. So yeah, I see Carli doing more, landing more, and having the more powerful weapons in this one.
Yep. I like Carli here quite a bit, but minus 525 for her. So they're making you pay. Chaves plus 400. Over under set at 2.5 rounds. The over 2.5 minus 155. The under 2.5 is plus 135. All right. And then in terms of wiki feed, only one of these ladies have a wiki feed, and it's Judice, and it's 4.36, which is it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a solid score.
Yeah, it's fine. It's nothing. Yeah. It's not gonna knock your socks off, but yeah, 4.36. 4.36. Carli is gonna massacre Chaves. Yeah, I think it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be very bad. Like I'm talking multiple 10-8s, potential late finish. It's gonna be bad. Douglas over Emmers. Yeah, I'm thinking so, but he's a pretty big favorite. We're cooking cabbage in Sacramento. Oh God.
Yeah, it's not the best card, but it's not that stinky.
Yeah. I love that picture. It's my Mitebek Oralby in a McDonald's uniform. Oh gosh. Miller's been looking good lately too. Yeah, she's a killer again.
Yeah,
which is nice. She's a killer. Almost finished Klein. Miller did. Tim Troiano's still living at the... Is he still at the airport? Oh, no. That's not good. Jeez. Judice gets her out of there round 2 or round 3. I could see it. Judice is so much better. Does Rocky have a wiki feed score? That's my girl, Rocky Pennington?
Probably, with as many fights as she's had.
Rocky. Yeah, she should be on here. Rocky, no.
Raquel. Try Raquel. R-A-Q-U-E-L.
R-A-Q-U-E-L. E-L. Pennington. Maybe it's under Nunez?
No, because she's the dude in the relationship. It's Tisha Torres who changed her name to Pennington. So it's got to be Raquel Pennington.
It's Pennington. Oh, it's not bad. 4.41, which is slightly better than Carli Judice.
Yeah. And that's a former champion, so that's what we'd expect.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. There we go. 5-leg parlay for even money. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Let's move on to the next the next fight. It's gonna be a banger, Wheezy, and that's because it's a Mason Jones fight. We got Marquel Mederos going against Mason Jones. We got Marquel Mederos, 29 years old, 5'10" with a 69-inch reach. Mason Jones, 31 years old, 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. We got Marquel Mederos, 2 years younger, same height, and we got Mason Jones with a 5-inch reach advantage. Mederos is 4-0-1 draw in his last 5 fights. Made his debut against was it Atlanta Quinones or was that on the Contender Series? No, that was his debut. Yeah, the Contender Series fight was the Issa Isakov fight. Won that fight by first round knockout. Made his debut against Quinones. Won the fight by decision. Beat Austin Hubbard by decision. Beat Mark the Shark Choinsky by decision, and then had a draw against Chris Padilla. As far as Mason Jones, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He was in the UFC, and then they let him go, and he came back. And since then, he beat Jeremy Stevens by decision. He beat Balaji Oki by knockout, and then he beat Axel Sola by decision. 2 really good wins there in Axel Sola and Balaji Oki. So now he's taking on Marquel Mederos here. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight? Should be a banger.
Yeah, it's a Mason Jones fight, so it's going to be an absolute treat. We got Marquel is a little bit younger, but Mason Jones is going to have a 5-inch reach advantage. Mason's got more pro experience. He's got more UFC experience. Mason throws more volume, and he's definitely got the better ground game. Mason's a black belt in judo, so he's going to be able to get trips, sweeps, and reaps from the clinch to get this fight to the ground if he wants it there. Mederos just got really good kickboxing, man. The guy's going to switch stances out there. He's going to throw a lot of kicks. He's got good long-range weapons, good durability, good volume, technical. So this is going to be a fun fight, man. Mederos coming off of a draw against Chris Padilla. That's a damn good performance as a plus 140 underdog. But the wins before that, like the Quinones fight. I remember I had a bet on Quinones there. And that was a fight that played out 50-50. The Austin Hubbard fight was a 50-50 fight. He goes out there and he beats Mark Chowinski, but he can't get him out of there. So we've seen Marquel Mederos give up a lot of takedowns. So far over his 4 UFC fights, he's showing 78% takedown defense, but he's getting out-controlled 27% to 11%. He's only winning 29% of the control time positions in his fights. So getting put into bad spots by, Austin Hubbard in a couple of different rounds of that fight. Chowinski got had some success getting takedowns. Even Quinones, I believe, was able to mix it in a little bit, but I do think that Mederos is going to be able to be competitive on the feet with Mason, but I don't know if he's going to want to fight at that pace, because Mason's extremely durable. So if you just kind of wade into the pocket with Mason, you might get really disheartened by the fact that this guy's able to take your best shots and keep coming forward and keep fighting. Because we've even seen Mason Jones get dropped a couple times in the UFC, but he's outstriking people 7.1 to 6.3 at distance striking range, positive 0.81 distance striking differential, positive 2.6 clinch and ground striking differential, and he's attempting 6.3 takedowns per 15 minutes, while Marquel is only attempting 3, and Markel's takedown accuracy, 8%.
Oh,
he's getting less than 10% of his takedown attempts, while Mason Jones is getting his takedowns at a 55% clip. So I like Mason here, Brady. He's going to do more, throw more, and be the more durable guy at distance striking range. And he's got most of the grappling upside here, in my opinion, as well. And I think he's been a little bit more tested and experienced at the UFC level. So I think that this is a great Mason Jones spot. And I think they're giving him the type of fighter that's going to allow this to be a real fan-friendly crowd pleaser in a packed house in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, I know why they put this on the main card, man. This is going to be a, what do you call it, a ding-dong Donnybrook of a fight?
Ding-dong Donnybrook of a fight. And that is a UK term. It's an English term. It might be Irish, actually. It might be an Irish term. That's why I said UK. I'm not exactly sure where it's coming from, but our guy Mason Jones, Wales, stand up. UK, stand up. This is absolutely going to be a Donnybrook.
Yes, sir. It will be. Raquel Pennington is rough. She will chafe your willy. Oh, I don't want my willy chafed. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Wint, Barbosa, Dyer, Judice, and Barbosa.
So 2 Barbosas.
I think
maybe
she meant
just playing Barbosa
Douglas.
Twice.
Maybe because that. No, I think probably meant Douglas.
Oh yeah.
Lerryan Douglas.
Yeah.
Who sells out of Douglas, Barbosa, Wint, Dyer. And Judice? I'd say
Dyer.
maybe Douglas, because at the end of the day, Douglas has been finished 4 times. But yeah, I don't know. I think the parlays are dead now. The parlay boys are. It was a rough night last night. Usually there's like one parlay buster, like, who's the parlay buster? Yeah. Last night there were 3 of them. What? 3?
Yeah, I wonder how many people who had oral buy in their parlays just put the same parlay out there after oral buy lost, and then maybe got clipped on Mansour or any of the other big favorites that Alvarez. So it could have been a rough day for the parlay boys.
It's crazy, man. I don't trust Dyer at all. The only thing I don't like is she's minus 700.
Yeah,
and if you're laying chalk against Elise Reed, you want that fighter to grapple.
Yeah.
That's how you exploit. And even then, like I laid minus 200 on Corey McKenna to grapple, and she didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Jones is the kind of guy I want to back as a dog. Hate laying near minus 300. It is a steep price. He gets hit too much, and I also think he doesn't have the best fight IQ in the world. But yeah, I like Jones here. Minus 255. Mederos plus 211. The over-under set at 2.5. The over is minus 165. The under 2.5. This is kind of like the Chris Padilla Haqparast fight, where it's like 2 very durable guys. It may go over, but at what cost? I mean, these guys are gonna go after it. So I don't know if I have the balls to bet an over here. 150 likes. Come on, fellas. Come on. Let's get 150. Why not? Let's do it. It's Jackson McVey, West Party Time Schultz Fight Week. I think we can get 150, no problem. Yeah, WikiFeed sponsor would go crazy. It would go crazy for sure. They have not approached us yet about a sponsor, and we're looking to be approached, man. It's like we need somebody to approach us. Like we're looking for a sponsor for the Fight Companion.
Yeah, like Fight Companion, Stack Diggers. These are 2 of the most watched shows in this community. So stand up if you're ready to sponsor. And I mean, this is going to be a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah. 1,000%. Okay, Colin G Jr. Come on, don't steal from Granny's, Colin G Jr. Don't be like your father, Colin G. Come on, Colin G Jr.
But he did give us a donation yesterday on the stream.
He did. So, that was nice of him.
It's good to see Colton doing some good things, some bad things. Let's make it all good things, though.
Yeah. I'd rather have my willy chapped than my ass chapped. Good old ass Chapman. I think Kuse is live. Hey, if he survives the first 5 minutes, his chances of winning increase tremendously.
Yeah.
But boy, it's going to be a tough 5 minutes, man. Be a tough 5 minutes. Barbosa, so round 1 dependent. 1 and 2 in fights out. Yeah, he's 1 and 2 in fights that reach a second. That's true. Elise Reed is terrible. Dyer should be minus 2,000. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've picked Elise. I picked Elise Reed to win 1 fight, and she actually won against Melissa Martinez. Banger fight. Agreed. Don't all Mason fights go over. I like it. Yeah, I mean, the Stevens fight somehow went over when he had an astronomical grappling advantage. That was annoying. The Oki fight did not go over. The Sola fight went over. Mike Davis back in the day went over. Yeah, he goes over. He goes over. I remember
5 of his 7 fights at the UFC level have finished.
Wow. I remember the Stat Diggers debut. That was.
I'm sorry. Have went over. Have went to decision.
Oh, yeah.
Have went to decision. Only 2 haven't, and one of them was a DQ eye poke.
Okay. What's good? I was a parlay boy last night, and I watched Joe Alvarez smile and Sheedy and Gore choke the life out. Gore choked the life out of Luque. Yeah, that Gore not finishing that choke is gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. I literally called round 2 sub. It was the perfect read, and somehow, some way, he didn't sub a corpse. How can't you sub a corpse? It's a corpse.
You have to sub a corpse.
You gotta sub a corpse.
My God.
And then you give the corpse a big hug and kiss instead of finishing him in round 3. God. Come on, Trayshawn. All right, let's move on to the next fight. We got Serghei Spivac going against Vitor Petrino. We got Serghei Spivac, 31 years old, 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. We got Vitor Petrino, 28 years old, 6'2" with a 77-inch reach. We got Petrino, 3 years younger. Spivac with a 1-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. Spivac 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Cyril Gahn. Submission win against Marcin Tybura. Submission loss to knockout loss to Jailton Almeida. Decision loss to Waldo Cortez Acosta. And a decision win against Ante Dalia. As far as Vitor Petrino, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Submission loss to Anthony Smith. Knockout loss to Dustin Jacoby. Submission win against Austin Lane. Knockout win against Thomas Peterson. And a decision win against Steven Asplund. This is one that I actually kind of went back and forth on because I have a bad feeling, Wheezy. My bad feeling is I think Spivac fell in love with his hands. And we've been talking about it for a while now. These are grapplers, these wrestlers that are just refusing to wrestle. And Serghei Spivac's one of those guys. In his last 5 fights, he has completed 5 total takedowns, which is wild because this is the type of guy that used to get 5 takedowns in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's focusing on the striking, which I will say, Spivac's striking actually does not look bad. It looked pretty dang good in the D'Elia fight. He basically beat D'Elia just with a jab over the course of 15 minutes. And it looked pretty good in the Waldo fight as well. So his striking's looking good, but it's like Spivac, his best attribute is that relentless grappling, the judo, taking guys down. If they get back up, take them back down and just milk them and wear on them. But he hasn't done that in a very long time. You look at his Instagram, it's nothing but striking. It's nothing but striking and working on that striking. And that's kind of the concern here, because if he doesn't grapple here, it's like, I don't know. I'm still not sold on Petrino at heavyweight. I don't think his cardio is that great. I went back and watched, I think it was the Petrino versus Thomas Peterson fight. In round 2, this guy was hands on his hips, walking away. Just very bad body language in round 2. I don't think Petrino's cardio is that great. So I wouldn't mind if Spivac went out there and, took this guy down, made him wrestle, made him work, tired him out. I think if Spivac went back to, his old self and grappled here relentlessly, I think he has a huge, clear path here. But if he goes out there and strikes with Petrino for 15 minutes, I don't know. It's like his chin's so shaky and sketchy, and Petrino does have some power. This is what I'm really struggling on. I don't see myself really betting on this fight. Maybe a violence angle depending on the line, but I don't know. Spivac's one of these guys where it's like sometimes he shows up and he looks like $1 million, and sometimes he shows up and looks like a deer in the headlights. So, Weezy, what are your thoughts on this? I think they're putting this as the co-main event for some reason.
Yeah, like I've seen it. So like they've got Ranier de Ritter is the co-main on Tapology, but on UFC Stats they have this fight as the co-main event. And what's another interesting thing we didn't talk about was the Judice fight for some reason is listed as a strawweight fight on UFC Stats, which doesn't make any sense because she's never fought at strawweight and neither has Chaves. But on Tapology, it's listed at 125. So I've got it in my stats package as a 125 fight. I think it's probably just a misprint. But there is a chance that the Chaves Judice fight might be taking place at strawweight. But
I don't think Judice can make strawweight.
I don't think she can either. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I put it as a flyweight fight on my stats package. But if UFC stats says it, sometimes that's the case. But I made a realization about Serghei Spivac a long time ago, Brady, and it's that he's a grappler. He's not a wrestler. This guy gets his takedowns from the clinch. He's a judo guy. Judo guys don't know how to wrestle. Judo guys aren't allowed to lock their hands when they stand up. Otherwise, it's a disc. Whatever technique you score points with won't be scored because you can't lock your hands. So they don't know single legs, double legs, that kind of stuff. They get their takedowns from the clinch when they're in close quarters with a over-under grip or just when their opponent crashes the pocket, they can use their momentum against them. So Spivac, I bet on Waldo Cortez Acosta against Spivac because everyone was saying, yeah, the striking's close, but Spivac's going to dominate the grappling exchanges. And I'm like, Spivac doesn't wrestle. I remember betting Spivac way back in the day against Carlos Felipe. And that fight was like 50-50 for the first 2 rounds. And then in round 3, they clinched up and Serghei got a takedown and 10-8'd him in round 3. But I was like, where was the wrestling before that? So I always remember certain fights, like even against Ciryl Gane. Like he John Jones took that guy down and submitted him in 3 seconds. And Spivac got nowhere close to taking this guy down. So I know why Spivac's working on his boxing, because his wrestling is non-existent. He needs judo to take people down. So, but I'm also not totally impressed with Petrino's striking. I think Petrino is definitely the more explosive and powerful striker in this matchup. But Spivac's conditioning has always been good, and he pushes a pretty good pace. And if he does make Petrino clinch up and grapple with him, we could see Spivac winning some minutes on the ground here, but it's going to be on Spivac to force that. And I think that if you're betting on Spivac, you need to come to the realization that this guy's not a wrestler. His stats look like he's a wrestler. His control time numbers look like he's a wrestler. His takedown per 15-minute number looks like he's a wrestler. I promise you he's not a wrestler. He's a judo player. And there's a big fucking difference. So I think that this should be about a 50-50 fight because I edge Petrino in terms of minute and moment winning ability at distance striking range, but I think it's going to be close. And I think Spivac could find some really dominant positions on the ground if he does find a good judo takedown that's able to get Petrino's back flat on the mat and where Serghei can consolidate top positions. So I could see this one going either way. What is the line saying?
It is saying that Petrino is minus 175 and Spivac is plus 155.
Yeah, I think maybe Spivac the value side there.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. It's just if I bet on Spivac and he goes out there and it looks like he didn't even train for the fight, or it's some of these fights, man, with Spivac, and it just looks awful. Like, how are you getting dropped by Jailton Almeida?
I don't know. That happened though.
Oh my God! Like, if you're getting dropped by Jailton Almeida, like I can't really put money on you. So, but no, I really struggle with this fight. So I'm probably gonna stay away. I really don't know what to expect. Serghei Spivac he's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, dude, with this guy. You never know what you're gonna get with Serghei Spivac. So
yeah, dude. Sometimes you bite in and you're like, oh my God, coconut.
Oh,
who the fuck put coconut in chocolate? This is bullshit, And that was what happened when I bet on him against Ciryl Gane. One of the worst bets I've ever made. He didn't win a second of that fight.
Yeah, that was probably my worst bet as well. Just horrible, just terrible. The over/under set at 1.5 rounds. The over 1.5 minus 180. The under 1.5 is plus 155. I don't know. I don't know about this fight, man. I don't know. So I guess his name is Victor Petrino. Okay.
I like it.
Okay. The Spivac Petrino over 2.5 should be minus 300. Well, you can get the over 1.5 at minus 180. Spivac be like, I want to milk your blood. Yeah, I mean, he's a vampire, dude. He's a vampire. Spivac has vampire tendencies. He does. 800 years of experience. That's a good point, man. This guy's 800 years of freaking experience. It's crazy.
Huge experience advantage.
Spivac is 300 years old. Vampires never have good endings. Petrino is my pick, but not betting this fight. Yeah, I don't think I'll bet the fight. This is a good point. If Petrino doesn't invite him into the octagon, does that mean he can win? That's a really good point.
That's an excellent point, man. I don't know. We'd have to look at some old scripts to find out, man, because vampires do exist. Okay. That's just not a story that all cultures of the world somehow agreed on. Okay. I know that there was at least one at my yaya's wedding in Greece back in Naxos in 1942. So, I mean, come on, man. They exist. We know it. Stop fucking pretending like it's not happening, everybody.
Agreed. Jonathan, yeah. I remember after his Contender Series fight, Jonathan was hyping up his boxing, and then he proceeded to shoot a takedown 10 seconds into his next 10 fights. But yeah, Jonathan did used to box. Oh, coconut bets. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're the worst, man.
Spivac kind of like a vampire. He sucks. Oh, some fights he does. Uncle Weezy hates Almond Joys.
Oh, they're the worst, dude. Mounds, Almond Joy. Who the fuck puts coconut next to chocolate? That's disgusting, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Go cook cabbage with the rest of the losers.
Oh, God. Yeah, Spivac has a nice jab, dude. He has a very nice jab. And this is smart, sleeping with garlic and cabbage around your necks on Spivac fight. Yeah, keep him away. Keep him far, far away, man. Serghei Spivac. All right, let's get into the next fight. It is going to be Reinier de Ridder going against Roman Dolidze. We got de Ridder, 35 years old, 6'4", with a 78-inch reach. Dolidze, 38 years old, 6'2", with a 76-inch reach. We got Dolidze, 3 years older, 2-inch height disadvantage and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. De Ridder is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. De Ridder beat Kevin Holland by submission, beat Bo Nickel by knockout, beat Whitaker by decision, lost to Allen by knockout, and then lost to Kyle Ohio by decision. As far as Dolidze, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Anthony Smith, knockout win against Kevin Holland, decision win against Marvin Vittori, submission loss against Anthony Hernandez, and a decision loss to Christian Leroy Duncan. So I don't know about this one. You know me, Weezy. I've been a big Reinier de Ridder hater, but the fact of the matter is, I think he's getting Dolidze at the right time. Dolidze he looks off to me. He looks a little bit off. I feel like Fluffy might have taken his soul, and Fluffy's taken many souls. He took Michelle Pereira's soul. He's taken some souls, and I think Dolidze's a little bit past it at this point. 38 years old. He's coming back up to light heavyweight. I think the de Ridder should get it done here. De Ridder's a pretty big favorite, which is kind of terrifying considering I don't think he's the best striker, but I actually might give him the striking advantage because Dolidze is just so low volume. I mean, Dolidze has to be one of the lowest volume strikers, and you can tell me if he is or not in the division. He's got to be one of the lowest strikers, right?
He's actually slightly above average for distance striking offense attempts. So the average for the division now, but you got to keep in mind, I had to classify this as a 205-pound fight because it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's being compared to 205-pounders rather than 185ers, which is where Roman had most of his fights. But yeah, him and Reinier have pretty much exactly the same amount of output offensively at distance striking.
You know what it is? It was the Dolidze. It was the Dolidze Vittori fight. That's what it is.
Yeah, that was a super high volume fight. Yeah.
Yeah, he landed 141 in that fight. So that's what it was. But landed 10 in his last fight, landed 36 against Hernandez, 19 against Holland, 34 against Imavov, 25 against Hermanson, 18 against Hawes, 8 against Dacus, 14 against Staropoli, 32 against Giant. So Dolidze just kind of looks uninterested in there at this point of his career. The cardio's never been great. The fight IQ's never been great. The takedown defense is not there. So I think de Ridder gets it done, but de Ridder's approaching minus 400. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be laying minus 400 on RDR here. I mean, I don't know where he's even that much better than Roman because, we saw Reinier get Brendan Allen down in the first round, in the second round, and in the third round and get top control. But the second he got reversed and put on the bottom, dude, he had nothing. And you don't really want to go to the ground with Dolidze. He's so dangerous there. Even the Fluffy fight. Like, if you look at the stats of the Fluffy fight, you'd think that Fluffy kind of like took him down and laid on him and stuff. Dude, every time he took Roman down, he would not go anywhere near his guard. He was doing standing ground and pound, not letting his ankles get anywhere near Roman's armpits where he could start working for those leg locks, because Roman's got a nasty guard, dude. So this is kind of weird, because in the clinch, Dolidze's historically been pretty good, man. He's won a lot of minutes with cage control and stuff like that. The Imavov fight, he was kind of like holding Imavov up against the cage for extended stretches. But De Ritter's clinch game is it reminds me a little bit of Jackson McVey. He's very active with his knees and elbows in those clinch positions. So I really like the dirty boxing of Raniere, but I think that's kind of where he might do his best work in this fight. I don't know if he wants to go to the ground with Roman. Roman's going to be very aggressive and making him defend there. And I just didn't like what I saw from Raniere when he got put into bottom position by another really talented grappler in Brendan Allen. So I'm just not sure. Like, if I were to ask you, Brady, distance striking range, clinch, ground game, durability, power, cardio, in which of those areas is Raniere going to look minus 400?
I was going to say, like, I favor him in all those areas, but not by much, you know?
Yeah, man. Like, I think he's minus 150 in the clinch, minus 150 on the mat, because you can't make any mistakes against Roman.
He'll go for a heel. He'll say, Coach,
should I submit him? But like, once he starts going for those leg locks, man, he's very, very dangerous.
He's tricky. Yeah, he's tricky.
Very dangerous there. And I mean, obviously Raniere de Ritter is an elite grappler in his own right, but I just don't know if he's going to look minus 400 on the ground. He doesn't look minus 400 at distance striking range against anybody. And in the clinch, Roman's very, very competitive there too. So it appears to me that even though both guys are on 2-fight losing streaks and both guys are past 35 years of age, it just kind of looks like Roman has got a little bit less in the tank and might be a little bit closer to retirement than Raniere de Ritter at this point. So I get why Raniere's the favorite. He's taller, he's longer, he's more physical. And I think that he's got more grappling upside. I think he's got better clinch upside, but the line just feels wide.
Yeah, it's a wide line, especially for de Ritter. Yeah, so we'll see. Both are complete bums. Oh, double threat Dolidze. I want to fade RDR so bad, but not with Dolidze. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. RDR money line seems a bit wide. It does, and it's getting wider.
Yeah.
Gage Young versus Stan odds is turning into a pick'em. I think Gage will make quick work of Stan. I mean, if it's a dance battle, I mean, he's gonna run Stan over.
Yeah.
But it's a fight, so I still got to look into that one though. Yes, same thing. Gage Young still minus 120. Stanley plus 100. What else we got in here? De Ritter to milk the hairy tits of Dolidze. Oh God, and Dolidze is a fan of the show too, so it's always hard not to root for Dolidze. Being a fan of the show, he watches us weekly, I think.
Nice.
Brother Brady calling this an Apex card. Outside of Apex is 100%, 1,000% on point. Not saying it's not a bad card. It's just kind of like Apex matchmaking. Like every fight on the card I envision taking place in the Apex, but they're putting it in an arena. RDR did better against Fluffy than he got credit for, in my opinion. RDR's knees
did not fight Fluffy.
RDR, does he mean against?
He probably means Dolidze looked better against Fluffy than he got credit for him. Because, I mean, RDR never fought Fluffy.
Yeah, that's probably what he meant. Roman will get those legs. RDR minus 400, no way. It's a very, very tough click there for RDR. Why does Weezy look good? It's that new camera, man. That new camera is crazy.
And it's because your eyes are working deep inside her.
Hey.
Yeah.
RDR looks minus 400 at distance striking.
Minus $400, he said.
Oh, I was gonna say he was losing striking exchanges to Gerald Mearshart. Oh,
yeah.
Oh God!
But then he did knock out Mearshart at the end of the first round. Like, and it was only because there was only like 2 seconds left in the round that they didn't stop the fight. So like RDR is just kind of weird, man. He can look like shit, and then bam, like one big knee lands or like one crazy hook lands, and he's dropping you and he's on top of you, and now that's trouble.
Bet the over 1.5 and call it a day. Both are dog crap. Let's see where they put the total at. It's at 2.5 though. Is the problem?
Oh, is it really? Fuck, I would have thought that would have been 1.5.
Yeah, the over 2.5 minus 140. The under 2.5 is plus 120. Yeah. So yeah, set it 2.5.
Yeah.
I picked Allen against RDR. I remember everyone saying RDR was a leap. Now the tune all of a sudden has changed. Has it? Do people think the Ritter sucks now? I don't know.
That's the thing, man. I had money on RDR in that fight. I don't know what happened there. He got Brendan down in round 1, round 2, and round 3. You know, so like if he just didn't completely gas out, which is what happened, and get reversed in rounds 2 or 3, that would have been a good fight for him. But the gassing out absolutely killed him. But he was able to get Brendan down in rounds 1, 2, and 3 and get into top position.
Yeah. Nobody ever called RDR elite. Chill. Yeah, I don't think anybody ever called him elite, but people were sucking his dick a little bit.
His grappling is really good.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. It is now time to move on to the actual main event, which I guess it's not Jackson McVey party time Schultz. I guess it's for Hernandez, Rodriguez, which is fine. If you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button for us. We are sitting at 144 likes. So we are 6 likes away from 150. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe. We do appreciate it. We show up on time for you guys every Sunday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, never a second late. Main event, very intriguing main event, Weezy. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez going against Gregory Rodriguez. We got Hernandez, 32 years old, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. Rodriguez, 34 years old, 6'3", with a 75-inch reach. We got Hernandez 2 years younger. Rodriguez with a 3-inch height advantage, got the same reach there between the two. Hernandez is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Submission win against Roman Kopylov, knockout win against Michel Pereira, decision win against Brendan Allen, submission win against Roman Dolidze, and a knockout loss to Sean Strickland. As far as Rodriguez, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, decision win against Christian Leroy Duncan, knockout loss against Jared Cannonier, knockout win against Jack Hermanson, decision win against Roman Kopylov, and a knockout win against Bruno Ferreira. I think it's a pretty simple fight to break down. It's like, if you think Rodriguez wins, he's probably knocking out Fluffy to the body in the first 2 rounds, maybe even to the head, because Rodriguez hits very, very hard, and I think it is the hardest hitter that Fluffy's fought. And if you think Hernandez wins, you think he's milking him. You think he's dragging the fight to the second, to the third, extending the fight. You know, Rodriguez doesn't have the best cardio. We saw him extended in the Cannonier fight. He slowed down tremendously, and Fluffy's the type of guy that can put a pace on anybody and slow them down and make them, you know, look for the door, you know, rounds 2, 3, 4, 5 type thing. So I think it's either Rodriguez early or Fluffy late. The thing that scares me about Fluffy is the Strickland fight. And people are saying, oh, it's Strickland. Who cares? You know, Strickland's the champ. Yeah, it's not a bad loss. It's just how it was the game plan. I hated the game plan. I was shocked to see that Fluffy, it says he was credited with 1 takedown. I didn't see him shooting on a takedown, really. Mm-hmm. He didn't wrestle the entire time. It's like his game plan was to go out there and go jab for jab and teep for teep with Sean Strickland. It's like, what? And apparently he was injured going into that fight. And I don't know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because you think of Fluffy, you know, he's a guy that I never thought in a million years he'd fight like that. But he forgot that he's a grappler for some reason. So, yeah, hopefully he gets back to his grappling ways here. And if he doesn't, he's getting knocked out. So we're about to find out, Weezy. But yeah, I think it's Rodriguez early or Hernandez late. I'd be shocked if this fight went 25. What are your thoughts on this main event?
It's really kind of hard to commit to either side, because, you know, I've heard a lot of people say already, like, you know, hey, you got to forgive Hernandez for the Strickland fight because that's Sean Strickland. And I'm like, no, that is, if that's the version of Anthony Hernandez that we're getting going forward, Gregory Rodriguez at plus 200 is a generational wealth spot. Because tell me something. Who is Anthony Hernandez going to go out there and outstrike at distance striking range?
Probably nobody.
Nobody. Dude, first of all, he's extremely soft to the body and he could be knocked out there. The guy never fucking moves his head, and he's got some of the worst distance striking defense. I believe he has 0 knockdowns in the UFC. So this guy's not winning minutes at distance striking range. He's not winning moments there. He's extremely hittable there. And he has no ability to really bank rounds with damage at distance striking range. So an Anthony Hernandez that isn't wrestling is fucking worthless from an MMA perspective. So what happened last time? You know, if you're taking the biggest fight of your life and going in there knowing that you can't wrestle, what version of Anthony Hernandez are we going to get? I mean, like, if you think I'm being too tough on him, remember, this guy's my favorite fighter. I love fighters that fight with the game plan that Hernandez does. He's got elite durability to his head. His head is like a cannonball, Brady. You're not going to knock this guy out to the head. His conditioning is endless. And to be able to have that kind of durability and that kind of conditioning with the wrestling upside that Hernandez brings to the table, it's almost it's a virtually impossible game plan to go out there and thrive against in a 5-round fight. If that Hernandez that shows up to every other fight besides the Strickland fight comes out here, he's going to run through Gregory Rodriguez. But now I'm worried because Hernandez has always battled injuries, Brady. The guy does not fight often. And it's not that he's not fighting often because he's lazy. It's quite the opposite. It's because he's consistently breaking his hand. He had a rib injury, supposedly, for the Strickland fight. So if he's not 100% healthy, you know, I feel like Gregory's the side here because Gregory's got really good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's going to be the better striker while this is at range. Both of these guys are on hot streaks. I mean, Gregory's won 6 of his last 7 fights, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. And even though Hernandez is coming off of a loss and a career worst performance in his last fight, I think he's won 8 out of his last 9 or something. You know, and this being a 5-round fight, that absolutely favors Anthony Hernandez with his pressure, his pace, his endless cardio. But that last version of Anthony Hernandez is a version that I'm going to be looking to fade going forward. So I don't know what to do in this fight. I don't know if I want any action on this fight because in retrospect, if you were to bet on Gregory and then the old Fluffy shows up, you're going to be, that's dead in the water. He's not submitting Hernandez. He's not, I mean, if Rodolfo Vieira couldn't fucking submit Hernandez after having his back early in round 1, forget about Gregory Rodriguez, who might have the most overrated Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Brady. How much money has been lost on Gregory Rodriguez sub props? You might as well have been going long the stock market in 1929, and you would have had about a similar return on investment as if you would have been betting on Gregory Rodriguez. So, you know, get it out of your head that Gregory's going to put a clinic on Hernandez on the ground. He couldn't put a clinic on anybody that he's fought so far in the UFC. So it's going to be about what version of Hernandez shows up. And it seems like a big unknown to me, Brady. I don't know which version is going to show up because that last version was disgraceful. It was mind-blowing. I mean, I'm in the middle of a losing streak, Brady, and that's my ass shaving of the week, and I got 3 units on him, and he fucking shoots 0 takedowns. I'm God. Like, this could, you know, like that's what happens when you're in a losing streak. You bet on Hernandez, and then he turns into a striker,
which is bad. I mean, that's bad, especially against Strickland. It just made no sense. So,
yeah, you're gonna go out and box with that guy. Come on.
Yeah. It was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Hernandez minus 175, Rodriguez plus 155. Over under set at 3.5 rounds. This is interesting. They're juicing the under 3.5 to minus 175, which I don't know if I get that because if Hernandez wins, it's like maybe like a 3-4-5 type thing. But yeah, money's coming in pouring in on the under 3.5. It looks like. No, I mean, it would be so hilarious if this was the fight where he gets the sub finally. If this was finally the fight where he couldn't get it against Roman Kopylov, he couldn't get it against Dennis Tuolumne. If he gets it against Fluffy, I'll probably be smashing my TV. I'm betting my kidney on RoboCop by sub. God help you. If anyone says RoboCop by sub, I'm banning them. Robo ain't getting no sub. No, it'd have to be like a club and sub. He's not gonna sub anybody for that matter. Rodriguez has good grappling. Yes, he does. He just doesn't use it. Fluffy was injured in the Strickland. He just never wanted to say it publicly. Then why take the fight?
Yeah.
Why take the fight? Robo's going out there and rolling for the leg like Ryan Hall. Sub is a lock. Oh, God. Fight ends by sub. Fluffy's so chinny to the body. He's been hurt to the body very badly in 4 different fights. The Marcus Perez fight.
And that's where he got clubbed and subbed, man. He got hurt to the body and then submitted.
Uh-oh. So you're saying Rodriguez club and sub is in play.
If he goes to the body, maybe, Let me look at Gregory Rodriguez goes to the body 21% of the time, Brady. The average for the division, 20%. So he goes to the body about as much as anybody.
Yeah.
Not more, not less.
And if you're Rodriguez, you got to put an emphasis on just going to the body because you got hurt in the Perez fight to the body. You got hurt and finished in the Holland fight to the body. The Strickland fight, the stoppage got caused by a body shot initially. And then even Michel Pereira, the ghost of Michel Pereira, hurt him to the body in round 1, too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make yourself sound stupid saying RoboCop by sub. Yeah, I stopped betting the RoboCop by sub a long time, ever since the Tuolumne fight. So I haven't been donating on it the last 5 or 6 fights, which I'm very happy about. Big Fluffy fan here, flying to Sacramento on Wednesday for fight week and the fights. Enjoy it, man. Nice. Enjoy it, man. Give me Fluffy. Anyone else fancy a RoboCop sub, I'll put you in a corner with a dance hat on. RoboCop round 1 or 2, Fluffy rounds 3, 4, to 5, or decision. That's kind of how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
RoboCop by sub is the freest bet I've ever seen in a while. Don't ever think it. If you want free money, bet it. Fluffy's my favorite fighter too. He's one of my favorite fighters. I like Fluffy, man. I like Fluffy. It's a stupid bet. Yeah, it's not great. Hit the like, agree, smash it up. I think we might have hit 150. Yeah, I can see that. The Scottish Twister is apparently a very popular submission now. We've seen it twice in the last 2 months. Let's go.
Yep.
Strickland does have good takedown defense. He does. He does. That doesn't mean
Anthony Hernandez has 48% takedown accuracy and averages 5.9 takedowns per 15 minutes on 12.24 attempts. So, I guess we can still say that Strickland has good takedown defense because Hernandez didn't try to wrestle him.
Yeah. 160. There we go. 160. So Dante Johnson saying he trained with Fluffy a bit, and all he can say is that he doesn't plan on wrestling much in this fight. Wait, is this actually the real Dante Johnson? I'm so confused. Are you the real Dante Johnson, man?
We know that Colonel Keane, we were saying the first day that Colonel Keane came in here that he was Dante Johnson's burner account, and now he put I think it might be, dude.
Oh, gosh.
I think it might be Dante Johnson, and why wouldn't he be a fan of the show? Why wouldn't he be?
Exactly. And by the way, Dante Johnson hasn't thanked me yet because the last week on the show I messaged him and I said, when you hurt McConaughey this week, please don't go for the front choke headlock or for the front headlock. I can't wait to see you fight. He read it and he took my advice, but he didn't thank me yet. So Dante, you gotta thank me. And remember, I also messaged Joel Alvarez. I said, "Oi, amigo, un derribo y la pelea se acaba," which translates to, "Hey, buddy, one takedown, the fight's over." He never read it, so he never got to take the advice. So I tried, Joel. I tried to give you some advice. You didn't read my message, buddy. You got to read the messages. You got to read the DMs because sometimes you'll come across some good. I gave good advice to both those guys, Weezy.
Yeah, you did. You did. And Joel didn't take it. Dante definitely looked great, though.
Yeah, Dante looked great. Dante was the highlight of my night for sure. Thanks, Brady. I'll get back to you on IG after I'm done responding to the hundreds of other messages after that fight. I bet you do get hundreds of messages, man. Heck yeah. I don't think RoboCop smokes weed. I don't know. But yeah, intriguing main event. It really is. It's a very intriguing main event. Might look at some props, but it's kind of a tough one after Fluffy went out there and tested his striking for 25 minutes. All right. Now it is time to get to everybody's favorite segment, and we need a bounce back, guys, because last week, this is bad. The milking of the week, my titty back oral boy to milk Philly's own Jeremiah Wells. The opposite happened.
Looking great, though. To be fair, it was looking great, man.
He was. But it was Wells that milked my titty back in the third round via sub. So we got to bounce back there. And then the piping's been hot. It's been piping hot, if you will.
Yeah.
Esteban Rubiks went out there and piped poor Edson Barbosa. So that's what we're looking for. So we need to bounce back with the milking. We need to keep it rolling with the piping. So, Weezy, we're going to start with the piping of the week. We got some options. So you'll give 2 options. I'll give 2, and then we'll let the viewers decide who is going to pipe their opponent on site.
All right. I'll give you guys a real obvious one. We're going to go with Le'Veon Douglas to pipe Jamaal Emmers on site.
Lerryan, Douglas. I'll go another obvious. There's a lot of obvious ones. Marcio Barbosa to pipe Ryan Kuse on site.
Yeah, and then obviously we'll go with Anthony Wint to pipe poor Terrance Chatman on site. Jeez, that could also be the piping and the chapping of the week.
Chapping of the week. And then I'm gonna get a little bit. Oh, dude, there's a lot of options, man. There's 2 I'm debating between, and one's a female piping, which we don't get. I think Carli Judice could potentially pipe Jeisla Chaves. I'll go crispy. Charlie Judice has an option. Throw a female out there for once, That's
a good one.
All right, so we got some. It's gonna be tough to find a piping this week, man, because we got Lerryan Douglas, who he pipes guys for a living. Marcio Barbosa pipes guys in less than 5 minutes in all of his fights. Anthony Wint, who just pipes somebody in 20 seconds, and then crispy Carli Judice as well. So we got some options. Everybody get in the chat. And everybody start voting. Hey, guys, glad I found you. Peace out, y'all. Peace out, Seattle. He did mention... Heck yeah, have fun of the fights, man. I wonder how much those tickets are going for. Let's see. UFC, Sacramento tickets. Let's take a look, see how much they're going for. Maybe we make a trip out to... No, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's a long flight. Northern California.
Oh, my gosh. $76?
Really?
I've never seen tickets so cheap. $76 for the cheapest price.
I guess that like the card is, card's all right.
Wow.
Maybe that's why it's so cheap.
That was Contender Series tickets. Okay, this is Sacramento. So Contender Series is only 76? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, I'm hearing like the Contender Series tickets are super cheap over at the Apex. If you're in Vegas, you can go check out Contender Series for like a seriously affordable price from what I'm hearing.
What the heck? I'd go for $76. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would go for that for sure.
Not bad at all. So if you parlay all four of them together, it's minus 116.
Yeah. I mean, it's that kind of a week, dude.
Oh, God. Appreciate the vote. Wint's only minus 1,000, so we're getting him at a discount. Yeah. Lerryan Douglas is the hardest hitting 145er, and Emmers has a suspect chin and stick legs. He's dying and retiring in a coma. Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's brutal. But he hits very, very hard. As does Marcio Barbosa. Both those guys can crack, dude. All right. I say we take a look and see. Yeah, it's really not even close, Weezy. I thought it'd be closer with all these great options. It's not really close.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So
what do we got?
In fourth place is Crispy. Carli Judice at 14%. In third place is Lerryan Douglas.
Whoa.
At 15%. At second place is Marcio Barbosa.
Oh,
at 23%. In the piping of the week at almost 50%, Weezy, is Anthony Wint.
He's a scary individual.
Piping of the week is Anthony Wint. Anthony Wint to pipe. What's his name? Chatman. What's his first name?
Terrance? Is it Terrance? Terrance Chatman.
Terrance Chatman on site. There it is. The piping of the week is Anthony Wint to pipe Terrance Chatman on site. There we go. All right. Yeah, he is frightening, man. Now it is time to come up with the milking options, Wheezy. We're going to get 4 options for milking, and it's time to bounce back. We can't have another my titty back situation. So who is your first option for milking? I think there's a lot of options for milking too.
Yeah, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I mean, that's what he does when he's on point, when he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's wrestling, he's taking you down, and he's just absolutely killing you there. So, I mean, like, that's a perfect option for a milking this week.
Yep, that's what he does. I'll go Rainier de Ritter, another milking option to milk Roman Dolidze.
Okay. I will go with Mason Jones. The volume and hopefully grappling-based milking of Marquel Mederos, who doesn't have the best ground game, and that's where Jones would be looking like a minus 250 favorite, because I think while that's on the feet, that's going to be looking very close.
Yep, I think he should grapple. And then I would go with Dyer, but she's not a grappler. You know, she's just not. I'll go with Jackson McVey. I could see a piping as well, but I'll go with Jackson McVey to milk Party Time Wesley Schultz. So there we go. Those are some options for milking of the week. You guys vote. You guys decide. Choose between Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, Rainier de Ritter, Mason Jones, or Jackson McVey. Those are the options. Get the hell in. And did I even start the poll? An error occurred.
What? An error how? What kind of an error?
Why is it? Is it showing up for you guys? This is not cool. Let me refresh here. It says the poll's running.
Let me look.
It says the poll's up and running. But no votes are coming through.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
Okay. All right. And while you guys vote, we're going to talk some underdog. Do they got underdog, Wheezy?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Dog. Log in. All right, let's see what we got. Because we hit our play last week, Brady.
Yeah, I don't see the poll either. What's going on?
I voted it, and it still says 0 votes happening now.
I know.
So I don't know.
Oh, God. What are you doing?
Jeez.
God.
Do we have anything for UFC?
We don't have it. Oh, it's just this is turning into a mess.
No, I don't think we have UFC. They've just got actually. Well, wait, do they have money lines?
What? What's going on?
Wow, Underdog's got money lines.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we've never seen this before. Anthony Wint minus 1250, Le'Veon Douglas minus 400, Gaziev minus 140. Huh.
All right, looks like we'll have to do the poll on StreamYard, guys. So here's how you vote on the poll. If you like Fluffy to milk, press 1 in the chat. If you like RDR, press 2 in the chat. If you like McVey, press 3 in the chat. And if you like Jones, press 4 in the chat. So once again, if you like Hernandez, press 1 in the chat. If you like RDR, press 2 in the chat. If you like McVey, press 3 in the chat. If you like Jones, press 4 in the chat. So what's going on with Underdog?
So I don't see any significant strike or time props. I'm just seeing money lines.
Well, that's not cool. I guess we can come up with a money line play, which is terrifying.
Yeah, especially on this card. But like, I don't know. Wow. Yeah, some wide money lines all over the place here.
Ooh. Maybe we'll hold off then.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing over-under props here this time around.
Yeah, we might. We'll just hold off on that. All right, give you guys about 2 more minutes. Let's go. Let's get those numbers in. It should take 2 seconds. You just press a number.
Come on, get it in there, people. People, get it in there. All right. Prop father in the room. We got Mr. D. We got J Bone. We got EZ 413, Gabriella, Brandon, J Bone. Let's go. Carlos is in there voting 3 times. That's cheating, Carlos.
Yeah, it only registered once, I think.
Okay, good.
All right, since our poll is gonna screw up, we got to do it the old-fashioned way. Gonna do it on StreamYard. All right. Let's close the poll. All right. Stop the poll. I'm kind of surprised by the results.
Me too.
In last place, Jackson McVey with 9% of the votes. In third place is Anthony Hernandez with 6% or with 18% of the votes. Second place is Mason Jones with 21% of the votes, and with over half the votes, Reinier de Ridder at 52%. So Reinier de Ridder to milk Roman Dolidze this Saturday. We need to bounce back, and it is in the hands of Reinier de Ridder. Let's go.
Yeah, interesting one, man. But I think people think that Roman's the guy that's on the wrong end of the age curve here. But we're gonna find out, man, because Reinier de Ridder has quit 3 different times in fights.
Oh, God.
So it's going to be interesting, man. That's one thing that Roman Dolidze, we've never seen him do, and that's quit.
Well, he quit once, but we can't blame it. It was in the Fluffy fight.
Yeah, and that's round 4 with Fluffy. But, don't forget about the 5 rounds he went with Imavov when he got knocked out in round 1 and doesn't remember rounds 2 through 5, but still managed to win 2 of those rounds.
Yeah.
Roman's extremely durable.
Tough dude. Very tough dude. All right, so the milking of the week is Reinier de Ridder to milk Roman Dolidze on site. And there we did it. Somehow we went 3 hours on this card.
That's what we do, Brady. That's what we do.
That's what we do. So if you guys enjoy the content, help us out. Check out Underdog. Use code DFSBTN. We are at 1 sign up, and it's August 16th.
Yeah,
so
guys.
We need help, guys.
We'll get us up to 5 or 6 by the end of the month. For the love of Jah, help us out here.
Please.
And check out Home of Fight cards. We always have fun ripping those cards, man. And check that out. They got the $60 option. They got the $150 option. It's fun. And you can keep them or you could sell them back. Stand up, Home of Fight cards.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up. All right. So that's about it. Going to kick it over to Uncle Weezy. Uncle Weezy, what do you got going on this week, and where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at MMA Weezy. You can find me on YouTube and Rumble at Uncle Weezy. And you can find my probability stats and content package on oddshopper.com. I'm looking to keep the winning streak going 2 weeks in a row, trying to make it 3 for UFC Sacramento. And it all starts with 15 units on Wes Party Time Schultz. But it's going to be a fun card, man. Let's get it. Let's see how much Wes makes us this week. I can't wait for this card, Brady. It's going to be a fun one.
I'm going to have like 5 units on that fight, man. I'm going to have 5 units on the Wesley Schultz, Jackson McVey fight. You watch. That might be my only bet of the week. It's just 5 units across the various positions on that fight. I mean, that's my main event. That's my main event. Maybe I'll lay minus 700 on Shanelle Dyer. Maybe I'll do that. You never know. Never know. You like it? Yeah, I like it too. 7 units to win 1. Why not?
What could go wrong in a women's strawweight fight?
For a chick that doesn't grapple, heck yeah, sign me up. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see when these props drop. We've got a lot of mismatches, guys. We got minus 1,000 favorites, minus 900 favorites, minus 700 favorites, minus 600 favorites, minus 500 favorites, minus 400 favorites. It looks like another chalky card, but there also are some competitive fights as well. So I think it has everything. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video on your way out, subscribe on the way out as well. I already dropped my full card breakdown prediction video for UFC Sacramento, along with my Contender Series breakdown for week number 2. And then we'll be going live for the Fight Companion on Tuesday night. Check us out there. And then be on the lookout for the rest of the content. And the Fight Companion, we're trying to keep growing that Fight Companion. Last night, we had our biggest Fight Companion ever. I mean, I never thought we'd see almost 500,000 total views on that. So we're looking to keep growing that. And yeah, thanks everybody for supporting. So best of luck for UFC Sacramento, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later.